I've been listening here, so I've been shaking my head like, does these people live in La La Land? Do they live in fantasy land? That they just wish something and that thing should just be what happens. Nothing more. No, they listen to news. No, they listen to news. No, they read articles on what's happening around the world. Even in China, sometimes they will just bring somebody, prosecute and kill him because he scammed the government. And I'm not talking about scamming people. Look, government, Papa. They're scamming their government. But Nigeria, when it happens here, oh my God, our country has failed. Our security has been, God, I beg now. And what the investment that many of the people are saying this now, people that even live in diaspora, it is happening under their nose. This is happening under their nose. They are seeing, they are feeling it, they are hearing it, they are reading it, they know about it. But when it happens in Nigeria, it becomes, I don't know what. I am not exonerating the criminals. No, that's not what I'm doing. But I'm saying that it is possible that it may happen. So what do? We give the government the time to investigate it, get whoever that is culpable, and jail them. Not just, I'm not saying, oh, resign for what? If you say resign, then what happens? If Femi Gbajabiamila should be involved in it, let them jail him. So they serve as a deterrent to other people. But he must be culpable. He must be guilty first. And before you start calling for his head to resign, to resign for you to prosecute the matter, you must be sure that fingers are pointing at him. Now it is time to prosecute him. The case is now in court for prosecution. So he cannot be in office while he's being prosecuted. But just for you to do investigation, to do a forensic, to know whether he's even culpable or not, resign. If not, so everybody going to resign now. Even people, even Atiku will never be president, whenever we see be aspirant or candidate, he go resign. Peter B go resign. Tinubu go resign. All of us, even we were the campaign for them, all of us go resign. I just have to wake up in the morning. My crew stole my money. Whether good or bad, there's no investigation. He must resign. Yes. Almost also they took my wife's money. Let her go to court and go and prove it. But before that, she must resign. Nimsi, that I promised to give me my money back. I brought him money, but he will not give me back. Resign. I did not. So that one concern you. Now you go to court, go prove whether that's true or not. But you must resign first.
I'm about they speak Yoruba.
That's what they resign. Resign. I've been hearing resign. Yes. What is happening here? That's what they do. Even around the world, all those places that you guys are pointing at, if it happens there, they are still in office until you get to that point that they have found that, okay, now you're going to court, you're going to be prosecuted, now resign. But not just when somebody says something. How many times have they heard that Donald Trump, has he resigned? How many of the legislators in the USA, or maybe their ministers and whatever, I don't know what they call them, have we heard something about? Do they resign immediately? In many of the cases, most of them don't even resign. Because at the end of the day, they find out, oh, this person is cleared, has no hand in it. They continue their job. But in Nigeria, resign. I will just conclude with this. We have made it hard for even our I'm not saying civil servants, for those who are active, our public officers, office holders, to even talk about things that they found wanting. Because when they talk about it, we call for their heads. The same person you want to kill today is the person that uncovered the same thing that you're talking about. He uncovered it. He brought it to the public. Oh, why didn't he? He brought it to the public. He took it to the police. The police did their thing. The judges did their thing. So why are you still blaming him? What else do you want him to do? He could have, Trunot was saying before, he could have done it this way. If I am him, you are not him. And I don't know when you'll be him. So wait until you are him. If you go to your dream, be him and do it the way you want to do it. Stop disturbing us. You are not him. He has done what he should have done. Bring it to the notice of the public. If you did not hear it, that's your problem. Involve the police, involve the judiciary, Whatever that's out of it, it's not more his case. Or he could have added more energy. He could have been aggressive. Maybe he could have carried hammer and be knocking the guy on his head, so that you know that he's aggressive enough. Like, I don't get it. So, McLean, thank you, Joe.
All right. So before MT goes, because she's the next person. So there's this beautiful text post by Eniola Bello.
I want talk. I want ask question.
Yeah, you will. Sorry, let me just say this. It's actually a very beautiful thing, and these are kind of questions we've been asking. So if he says that those who have questions to answer, the first person, Babangida Husseini, that's the Director General of Budget Office of the Federation. His office assigns budget code and processes MDA submission code, blah 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 blah. Passes through his office. He needs to produce the submission trail for that entry and explain at what stage it entered the process. Then Simon Lalong, that's the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Folashade Yemi Esson at the time. Whoever headed the civil service when 314 staff were approved for a non-existent agency should existent agency signed off on that approval. That officer needs to explain what documentation was reviewed and who submitted the request. Number three, Oluwatoyin Madein, that's the Accountant General of the Federation. Our office processed the CBN account opening for the fictitious agency. Our office is the one the presidency's statement says was misled. She needs to explain specifically how a mandatory verification chain requiring sign off from the SGF, staff of chief of staff, and minister of finance was bypassed or completed. Number four, Yemi Cardoso. Sorry, MT. Yemi Cardoso. That's the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The CBN owns the account. Its internal control unit is independently required to verify government agency accounts. Either it was verified and someone it contacted confirmed the agency was legitimate, or it was not verified. Cardoso needs to answer which one happened. Then number five, Senator Barau Jubrin, that's the Senate Appropriation Committee Speaker, then Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, House Appropriation Committee. Both chambers reviewed the 2026 budget line by line. So all these ones they actually, then number six, the Judge Akume, then the seventh person Yusuf Tuga, eighth person then Femi Gbajabiamila. That's it. I think that's a very important post. Thank you. MT, please carry on.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, I want to actually say a wonderful thank you to the host and the co-host. And I want to really correct. I don't know whether Omoba is actually emotional. And I want to say this, in as much I'm also was a government worker, everybody knows that this case cannot have would not have Emma Bino would not have passed through the stage without the work of the government workers, the government workers working. You see, and there are so many things that goes on through the DG and all the MDAs. That is where most of the money is being looted. If you want to know this today, you see, especially the ministries, a lot is going in the ministries. Let me just quickly say something and correct Omoba. I don't know whether because it was emotional. There is a real Presidential Economic Advisory Council, which is a legitimate body that Tinubu reconstituted in 2023 with proper appointments. Maybe you should go and check it. There's a real Presidential Economic Advisory, and it already had a budget line. So what appears to have happened in Adeyemi's invented agency, which is the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, was grafted. This name was grafted into an existing legitimate budget line during the National Assembly phase of 2026 appropriation process. And if you could remember, when the president submitted this budget process, the president submitted 58.18 trillion bill in December 2025. By the time the NAS finished with it, the bill went to 668.3 trillion. That was over 9 trillion was added through legislation deliberation. And when after the analysis, they came down with the analysis of the final document showed that at least 82 MDAs had new lines inserted that were not in the president's original submission.
So empty. So who would have done that?
All
That's
of them
the
are
question.
copying. Let me explain to you. Maybe you people did not even check it. If you remember, when the actual 2026 appropriation at least entry was submitted, it was submitted as Presidential Economic Advisory Council, which is the original one, / there was a slash. You people should go and check the slash, the spelling of the president.
Sorry, that was Buhari.
Yeah, I know.
No, that was Buhari.
I know.
That's why
I want to point out something there.
During President Tinubu, it was changed to PEEC.
I know. If you look at that time, there was a slash. The Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council had 2 L. Maybe Buhari did not even to tell you that there are so many padding that happens through the MDA. The legislative are complicit. This is how most of them pass through the budget, pass all these things through. And thank God, because Mr. Gbaja was able to really get down to this case. And what I want to be saying is just that there's no thing that goes wrong in the ministry or anywhere that the government workers does not know. Everybody, aside from the SGF, down to the, this is how they pass through it. And thank God that Mr. Gbaja was even able to really come out and say these things. And you know, one thing I've noticed is just that, I really, Omaba was actually too emotional. And for me, when I have a government worker too emotional, I used to believe that maybe they had no court. Sorry to say, because I'm actually a government worker before. And I can say this. There's a way government. Let me give you an example of Ajimobi's case. When Ajimobi came in, there's a tip Ajimobi used to pay the government workers. When he came in, Ajimobi's problem started when he said he cannot pay. Anytime they pay allocation, there's a percentage you must share to all the workers, to all the heads of the department. That is just the truth. The first time he said he will not pay, they really dealt with him. At the end of the day, they will bring the Ghana must go to every local government. Till the gate man, they are going to get a share. It's not part of their salary. To tell you the rot, the kind of corruption that is going on in all the ministries, all the local government workers. I am telling you. So that's why I'm just saying that when the people say Gbaja, I am not saying I don't know Gbaja, but I'm telling you from the depths, if they eventually unravel what goes behind these MDAs. There was even one. There was one, I remember one about Oyo State during Akala. The pastor that was in charge of the what's the name of this thing that they go to Jerusalem. When they digged in, when they saw the money these people are siphoning. So the corruption is deep. Forget about the opposition shouting. We know definitely they don't want Tinubu. They will always shout and shout and shout. But you see MDA corruption. I don't know the president that can end it. That is just what I want to say. All these things that, Bacha should be younger, when they will trace it, that guy is not the only one. And most of the fraudsters that I know, like most fraudsters that you have read their history, there's a way they position themselves to the top that they will do it in such a way that you will not even know. And it's just the slightest things that exposes them. So that's just what I want to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So, Mark Noon, something just came to my mind that if this guy, right, if this guy is a non-con guy, right, so how will he, get close to, as in, how will he get close to all these, these people, and, and his name was ringing bell at that time when he, as in, I really don't. Oh, it is Ashko, I'm going to bring you up now. It's really bugging my mind. Like,
honorable, those guys, there are plenty within Abuja. Those I said it earlier. We have some of them on timeline. A lot of those old
we don't just want to drop names. We know them. They front for
to do all those shit. Even you can't say
I think
this is their certificate.
Idrissa, I think
You
so.
know,
Maknoun,
Can you let me
check your
let me
Mohammed, wait now. Wait.
my network is bad. My
Wait
network
now,
is
but when you are saying that someone is speaking, hold on, Mohammed, please. You are the one speaking next, but hold on, please. Please, I understand. I don't want your network to fail, but hold on. Maknoun, check your DM, please. I've even forgotten what I wanted to say. Mohammed, carry on, please. Mohammed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Carry on. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Carry on.
Thank you. Good evening, Makunum. Good evening, Honorable. You in the listener section, Momitobi, Madam Angel. My own is very simple. How did he come across to the Nigerian budget system? I so much believe that before the Mr. President present a bill or a budget to the National Assembly, I so much believe that there are people that are working on that. So are they telling us that they do not know about this fraudulent? I'm not so sure. Allegedly, that this agency doesn't exist or is fake. One and two. People are trying to protect or talking about the CBN. Let's be honest to ourselves. An ordinary opening account package, just normal opening account package, you need to get some grantors or some referees, some documents attached to it, particularly for them to even have a genuine location where you are coming out. They do use to ask. You must provide either your NEPA bill, which you paid for the last 3 months, or your water bill and the rest of them. So, and all this while, nobody realized, or nobody, are you people telling me that this particular agency was in our budget, but to the National Assembly, they have delivered our, I don't even know how to put it. They have participated there, it's in our budget, they have sit down and looked into it and passed the bill, passed the budget up to this stage. And you are telling me that nobody knows about it. It's so ridiculous, to be honest. For me, they know the existence of this agency. I'm not asking anyone to be resigned or whatsoever, but I love this administration. I love the Mr. President. That is where my problem is. I could remember, let me cast our mind back. The president's speech was leaked out. The president during Ramadan period was some bad people was arrested at his chef who cooks for him. So what is happening in this bill with the Mr. President? The Mr. President need to wake up. It's no longer my brother, my sister. Military approach. If you see anything wrong, whoever he is, just send him out. Scandal upon scandal. It's happening. Look at the way this guy was even representing Nigeria in 2025, and he was arrested. And somebody was telling me that one big man came and removed him out from that police custody and custody. He was granted bail on that for that person. So for how long should it continue? This is a national security matter. So if such instance happens, how many things It's happening now. Maybe we don't even know about it. I could remember when I saw one time when I asked my brother, so I need a generator from so place. He says, if I allow or I endorse for them to give it to you, the next thing the civil servant were going to do is though I only asked for one, they were going to write 4 or 5. So that is why I don't do this. I don't ask anything. That was when he was a commissioner in Borno State. So for me, Baja to resign, not Baja to not resign, Mr. President need to wake up. His speech outside Nigeria, before he even come out to make that speech, was leaked out. His life was in danger. In Sembila, the guy was arrested last time. And today, the agency that we don't even know his existence, they claim that they didn't know that he's existing. But there's absolutely nothing you're going to tell me for me to believe that they didn't know about the existence of this agency. That's the plain truth. Mr. President is too soft to his cabinet members, and he has given that trust that he thinks initially existed when he was maybe a governor or previous year back. Now we have many thugs in Nigeria who want to see his downfall. That's the plain truth. Whatever touch Baja is touch him. It's indirectly going to him. So for me, he needs to wake up, Mr. President. Behave as a military. We are no longer, we are in a democracy. But, sir, behave like a military personnel. No nonsense. That soft life that he's using, or that trust that he's giving people are using it to their own personal interests to see the downfall of his administration. That's the plain truth. Most of these people doesn't want to see his success. They are looking for a downfall. Each and everything that happens within Nigeria, the next thing attack to the president. What does the first lady say? I want to help people. Well, not with government money. She said, I want to help some set of people. People are turning around that it's an abuse, it's an insult to the people, this and that. And the next thing they started attacking the first lady. If you attack somebody, so you're attacking him indirectly. So for me, I don't care whoever he is there. But my major fear is my president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He need to wake up. He need to put his house in order. From his speech to his life. Today, now there's agency operating under his nose. We didn't know about it. I so much believe that if he knows, he must come out and save it. So finally, I don't care. Whoever is part of it, even though that person has to be my father, they should send him out. They should take the necessary action. Let the law take its place. That is the final decision for me. That's my own choice. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so quickly let's go to score. Then after score, we'll go to Mr. Ade Omojola. Then I will take then after Mr. Ade Omojola, we would have Ashko. Then I'll go back to people that have spoken before. Let's quickly have it, please. Thank you. Yeah. Nadeko, please carry on. Your co-host now.
So a lot of people have been speaking here, right? However, the main crux of this issue is still pending, which is how did that guy got access to the money to federal account? Because you see this thing, as everybody have said, that guy is not working in isolation. He's highly connected within this government. Baja or not, the SDF will be involved. Abi Ukai letter give am, because we just played this interview now. He saying get offer letter. Who signed the offer letter? And he kept engaging even to the deputy speaker of the house. Engaging this guy is not working in isolation. People are solidly behind him. So all these people we just yarn here since the president does not know all of these things. Now we agree that it was Baja, right? That brought this to the media. If Baja was truly involved, I'm sure that he is connected enough to find a way to kill this matter from getting to the public. However, he wants to make a scapegoat of this guy. My own thesis, which might not be true, that guy is sharing money with some people in government. Now sharing formula na cause wahala like this. If say sharing formula no cause wahala, this matter go don die. After cool down, you will not even hear from outside. So the president needs to be decisive at this point as to order a thorough investigation into this matter. For the paper trail to the point of view that organization even having a CBN account, for the way the guy got his legitimacy from highly constituted authority, know that this thing is bigger than that guy. It's bigger than what we are looking at today. At a point, even the case in court, Mariko don't die. So, true not, because I want to go and watch match now. But I did here, they go off and on. True not, before when you get the mic, my question is very simple, because I know you guys like to play politics with everything. True not, my brother, the people that were involved in when Snake eat money somewhere under Buhari, what is the result of that investigation till today? Did you hear anything? The person that is another animal, than a monkey, they say he eat money somewhere, same under Buhari. Please tell us the result of that investigation. The Mr. Cutlass, grass cutter, SGF, under Buhari. Do you have the result of that investigation? Because you see, Doggy mentioned something that is very fundamental. People scam government here and there across the world. And it's not peculiar to Nigeria. The problem I have with many Nigerians that when they see something happen in Nigeria, they think that it's unheard of, like it never happened anywhere. COVID money, even people from Nigeria, some of them are in jail today for scamming government on COVID money. Here in Canada, here in the US, and I believe in the UK too. We were here when one Obidiot, or sorry, people call them Obedient, I call them Obidiot, who was campaigning for Tinubu, for Obi, was scamming people on this COS, they call it, because taking advantage of government programs. People take advantage of government. Now, there is one thing that is even happening in the US. People taking money from because they give them an opportunity to have license, to run care homes, right? People are defrauding those old people who government has given them to take care of. There was a nurse practitioner that one Filipino that was recently arrested. She bought house wey be say even president no go fit buy. You understand? Bought Ferrari from the money from these old people in our care. You know, all of these things happen because some people are trying to exploit government program or government things. Is happening all over in the most developed democracies in this world. So this thing is not. Let's stop. I just want to beckon on people. Don't play politics with these things. Let's get to the root of this matter. The root of the matter is this guy has said he has an agency. This agency I search this agency is not created by any act of parliament. That is number one. This particular agency, we did not see the guy post his offer letter. We see when president appoint people.
Nadeko, me, I was even thinking, Nadeko, I was even thinking that agency or whatever, right, is a proposed one. You understand?
Okay.
That's what is even coming to my mind, that it's either that stuff is a proposed agency or whatever thing I would call it. You understand? So that guy must have been, this thing is difficult to even think. To even think around my head, it's difficult.
Remember that is it Shoyinka or somebody in the 90s? They have what they call Peace Corps, Peace something, where they were running at the point.
Check your mic, Nadeko. Check your mic.
Okay. How about now?
It's still far away.
Okay, go ahead. I'll come back.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so I said, who did I say should speak, Seth? Okay, so
Honorable, sorry, I don't know if you people are seeing this breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
The alleged letter from the head of service giving him a waiver for communicating the waiver that
Is
the
it not from
president
the
granted
cable?
him.
From the cable?
Yeah, from cable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
They should give us the copy of the letter. They only type
exactly.
the content.
I can hear you,
state
Ashko.
the source of the letter. They didn't state where they got the letter from. They didn't mention whether it was from that guy, whether it was from government. They just told us there is a letter and this is what is in the letter and this is who signed the letter.
Sorry about Yahweh. I think Ade was supposed to go at some point.
No, I think underscore, then Ade, then Ashko. Yes, underscore, then Ade, then Ashko, then I'll now circle back to those that have spoken before. Omoba, please request for the mic again. I think your network. Underscore, please carry on.
Thank you for the opportunity. So, to the topic, for me, I read all of Mr. Bayo's tweets over and over again, and I'm trying to gather the pictures together, the pieces of all the information. First of all, there is nowhere that was said that this guy have defrauded anybody. Yeah, he has so many accounts. He has an account with the CBN, but nowhere was said that he has collected any money from the government. The main issue of the matter is the how he was able to penetrate the government CBN. I was able to get the letter from Badazov office. I was able to posture to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and in short, it's just the legitimacy, the legitimacy of the alleged agency. That's what's puzzling to everybody. And there is nowhere to say that this guy has defrauded any Chinese, any investor. So um, there is a possibility that he's actually um, doing business, legitimate business with them, with impersonating Nigeria's agency and not scamming them. There's I'm seeing the kind of caliber he is. He has worked with many of the previous government. I don't think a scam can be too legitimate to that extent. Having pictures, he's not hiding his face, he's not hiding his office. He's well known by the prince and princess of the society. So, in my opinion, the APC people are too afraid of themselves, afraid of not accommodating anything, and they are beginning to make too much mistakes. If I'm the president, what I'm going to do is that, yeah, I'm going to punish him for impersonating. But if he's doing a legitimate business, I'm not going to make it an agency. I'm just going to legitimize what he's doing. If he's not stealing, I'm going to legitimize what he's doing. Okay, you want to meet with investors. The ones that you've met with, have you converted anybody? Have you done this? Have you done that? So, but yeah, so we'll be able to look at the loophole clearly, where the loophole is coming from in the government, and we're going to seal it off. I'm going to punish him, but not to the extent of, oh, how did he get Gbajabiamila this? How did he get this one? Because we got this one, you are bad. People that don't really care about the country before, just want to looking for any loophole to maximize, to get like God share moment. So, and I think APC people are too afraid they want to carry this sainthood mind to their heart, so they have to defend and defend and defend and defend. You don't really need all those defense. Because now you want to defend to the extent that you even start exposing yourself. If you are actually running the scam, you will start exposing yourself because you want to defend. Yeah, I don't want. So if this guy, definitely it's clear that this guy has a legitimacy in one way or the other, due to his circle, due to his kind of, he has even organized symposiums, even conferences. So I'm sure the president is not aware. But let me tell you something. I have somebody that was in, I think, US or UK, one of those countries. Then when they've not really digitalized many of these stuff, so he was using a uh, all these fake stuff when it was illegal, and when it became legal, they gave him that number, that tax number or something. They saw that he was using a fake stuff, but he was paying the tax, it was illegal. So the companies were paying, and they gave him that, signed him that same number, because they just let him know that we saw you, but just go. If he's doing something, if he's actually working, he has been working with Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan. Okay, what do you want to do? Okay, this is what you're doing. Okay, all right, we'll punish you for impersonating. So we'll be able to, everybody will create a warm environment. We'll be able to look at your source. Okay, punish you if it's 5 years, if it's 3 years, you go to prison or you pay every fine. Then we'll legitimize what you are doing, not necessarily under an agency, but you can be working for someone to help bring that investors in. So nobody have to kill themselves. Don't have to defend. so they will not say it's from me. So somebody even died. One woman, Tanimola, because they said she died in a fire incident. Maybe she was killed because there was another thing so many people might still even die because you want to over defend yourself because of some opposition or nuisance opposition that does not have any value to Nigeria, that does not have any care, any interest for Nigeria, just want to steal the presidency by all means. So, my brothers and sisters, when we are done defending, we'll come back to our senses, we'll look at the course of the matter, and we'll deal with it in the right way. I'm just pissed off with all of this defending Gbajabiamila, defending he should resign, he should not resign. I've not even seen anywhere that somebody will accuse you, and the next thing is that you should resign because they accused you. I don't even know how it makes sense to the people saying it, but they've seen a loophole, and they know that many busy people will be the one that will help them to amplify it. After this space, now another person will hold space, so that yes, so that we look like, oh, we support the government, but we don't like evil. See, God said, I created good and evil. Even God is not even going away from evil. Like those some of you are going away from evil. See, let's look at the cause of the matter. Let's deal with it objectively. Thank you.
Yeah, I still don't understand what you just said though. Anyways, thanks for the submission. Okay, so let's go to the next person, Mr. D.
Yeah, hello. I greet everybody here. Interesting room, Magnoon. Thanks for having the space and allow me to speak. I just want to speak strictly on this and how this matter has become sort of a political football. That's what we call it on this side of the world. So I can't speak on Bajamila's character, the allegations, etc. Right? That time will tell. But it appears that people are eager to push for a resignation because they're looking for a black eye that they can now go into the media, propagandize, go to Channels TV, go to TikTok and Twitter or whatever, and say that there's corruption there. Their chief of staff had to resign, etc. They are looking to leverage it, and it's been hypocritical because the motive is really political points. It has become political football, an issue that you are bouncing back and forth to score a political strike against the administration that you may not like, or against the other side. That's the reason why most people are calling for resignation of Bajabamila, not because they are looking for best practices or whatever. And in fact, the resignation that they're asking for, that they're calling for, is being taken out of context. Where in the world have you seen anyone resign from a high-level position and then return to that post eventually? It never happens. If it happens, it'll be one out of 1,000. What I call a soft resignation, right? Doing pending investigation is really a way of communicating that. It's a way for the administration to dismiss an official whom they have reason to believe his hands are dirty. So they'll kind of give him a soft landing by saying he's resigning pending whatever the resignation reveals. But everybody knows that such an individual never comes back, right? The investigation is a soft landing that allows the media it kind of just calms everything down. You can't say that he's guilty or not guilty. But in reality, by the time they find anything wrong, it's been 6 months or a year or 2 years down the road, far distance from the administration. And that's just how it's handled professionally in politics. But you only do that when an initial investigation reveals that there's a high chance that the full investigation will find the hands of that official are dirty. Well, in a case like this, right, if an initial review of the matter has revealed that the individual accused, the official accused, has clean hands. I've heard that he was the one who called the police and called DSS and reported the issue to the proper authorities. That's a very rare thing to do when your hands are clean. You would expect that if your hands are dirty, right, you would expect that you would seek to cover it up as much as possible, press whatever buttons you can, bribe people, do favors, just to bury the issue. But instead, despite all the power and access, this Benjamin, whom I cannot vouch for, by the way, I'm just looking at the surface of what he has done. Instead, it's been reported that he's the one who called the authorities to investigate the matter. People don't call for investigations when they know that there's a skeleton in a cupboard. It's very unusual. Is it impossible? No. You could say that perhaps his connections run so deep that even DSS and the judiciary, etc., will cover for him. You could argue that, but it's uncommon. You would expect it's far more reasonable to bury it using political pressure and connections than to be the one to call for an investigation. Either way, the fact that he has the only reason why it would make sense for Gbajabiamila to resign is if an initial investigation has shown that a full investigation will reveal that his hands are sullied with criminality. Those are the specific circumstances where resignation pending an investigation are appropriate. You don't see people, simply because someone is accused of something, it's not a basis for resignation. Anyone could accuse anybody of anything, especially in a high-level political situation. Sometimes women will accuse, a man of sexual harassment. Oh, we were together and he touched me in the elevator. No evidence, no proof, no witnesses, no audio recordings, nothing. You just say, I went into his office and he touched me. And then people say he should resign. We've seen things like that happen in different countries, in different societies. But that's not the basis. A simple allegation is not a basis to ask to call for resignation. An initial investigation must reveal that upon full investigation, his hand, we are likely going to find that his hands are solid. Those are the conditions for which it is appropriate to call upon an official to resign pending investigation. That's how it works. So if Gbajabiamila, and again, I cannot speak for his character or whatever, but if Gbajabiamila believes that I've done nothing wrong, I'm not going anywhere, then simply because there's been an accusation is not a basis for him to resign. But people know that that's how it works, right? And they'll still call for him to resign because they are looking for a black eye on the administration. They want something that they can take and run to Gen Z or run to people and tell them that, oh, look, this administration is corrupt because it's all political football and gamemanship ahead of the upcoming elections. That's my take on this issue. I'll get to now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so Ashko has dropped. Okay, so let's just quickly recircle back so that Macron can actually have his business. Okay, so True Notes.
All right, thank you, Honorable. Macron, please try and get a second phone so that we will not be holding you while having a space like this. All right, I don't know if Nadioko is still here. He really wanted to put me on the spot.
Yeah, answer the question. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the connection between those questions and what we are discussing here.
They are also fraud. They are also fraud. That's the connection. They are all fraud.
Okay, can you remind me the questions again?
There was a time that an appointee of government said snakes swallow money. There was a time another appointee of government said monkey swallow money. Another one used 250 million naira to cut grass. All of these are scamming of government. So tell us, what is the extent of that investigation under Buhari?
All right, just to respond.
What is the report on that?
Okay, just to respond to that, like I said, I don't see any relationship to that. But first of all, the one that you made reference to, that a government appointee claims Snake has swallowed the money, that wasn't a federal, scandal. It was a state scandal. It happened, I think, in Benue State. And then the outgoing JAM registrar, actually dismissed that, the claim. EFCC arrested the lady. She was charged to court. That is how far I can tell you on that. Secondly, the one that you talk about, the monkey taking money. I'm not sure if that truly happened. I remember it was my senator, the then Senator Shehu Sani, who made that. Was it a joke? I am not sure about that, so I don't know much about it. But the last one that you also referenced to, the grass quota scandal. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. The then secretary to the government of the federation was suspended, and after all, he was dismissed from his position. So all these things can be verified. Nadieko, I don't know if I've answered your question.
No answer any question, but let's continue.
All right, thank you.
Why are you streaming the room in another room?
McNoon, I just want to engage you about 2 or 3 questions.
Wait, is Yusuf, sorry, true not, is Yusuf streaming the space in another room?
Yes, he is.
Yusuf, you're a coward. You're a very, very big coward, Yusuf. Let me remove you from this room. I'll remove you. Carry on, true not.
All right. Okay. This is the first time.
Just a minute. Before you continue, let me correct the last one.
Right.
Babashi Lawa actually took over 100 million to cut the grasses.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he left, he lost his position. But was the money recovered? The answer is capital N-O.
Good.
So most of these things, it's not the first time under any administration that we have scrupulous and unscrupulous elements. But my own point is this, quickly, sorry for taking in your time.
No, go ahead. I think we are trying to...
We, beyond politics, I think it is high time we should begin to look into the object and subject of the matter. What do we do to the culprits, those that are really, really found guilty after thorough investigation? I think that is where we should be looking at. That is what we should be doing.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There should be consequences for one's action. I agree with that 100%. McNoon, I know you as a proud APC member, you said it yourself, and I have no doubt about that. Are you by any chance from the Surulere 1 federal constituency?
That is my indigenous local government.
Okay, thank you. McNoon, I've been in this space for more than hours now. I've listened to you and many speakers.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know whether I'm the only one that can't hear you.
No, I'm speaking.
Come back again. Roll back again.
Hi, Uncle Oye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please repeat yourself.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I said in one of McNoon's submission, he said he does not believe Femi Gbajabiamila is guilty. And I want to concur with you. I also agree. As of now, he has not been found guilty by any court of law. But I have this question. Knowing the duties of the chief of staff to the president, McNoon, in all honesty, would you say that Femi Gbajabiamila was not negligible to his duties to the president?
Thank you. You see, this is a very, very important question that you've asked, and I thank you for that question. So first thing first is that we must define his duties first. So I want to put that back to you so that we'll have a common foundation to discuss. What are the duties of the chief of staff?
He has dropped, though. I think it's
He must come back. Oh. He must come back.
McLuhan, to be honest, this matter, it don't tire me. Honestly, I'm tired of this matter already. let the courts resume their their findings or interrogation or whatever.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, so did you hear
I'm
Maknoon's
driving.
question?
I heard his question. Honorable Maknoon, that is his usual way of dodging a very simple question. It was a yes or no question, and yet you want
No,
me
sir.
to repeat.
No,
No, we
sir.
don't have
No,
that.
sir.
No, Maknoon, we don't have time to go through that. Many people
We
have
have the
said,
time. I have the
no,
time.
I'm not going to
See,
do that with you. Let me make my submission.
Okay, okay, let me
No,
answer
listen,
you. Let me
listen.
answer you.
It was a simple yes or no question. You want me to tell you the duties of the chief of staff? I will not do that.
Okay,
Let me make my submission.
Okay, fine. Let me answer you. Let me answer
Okay.
you. So, if you ask me today, if there is a case of misappropriation of funds in my company, the CEO and CFO are the two sole signatory to my company account. Me, I'm the CEO. Maybe my co-founder is the CFO. And then you go and meet my executive assistant. And then you say, is there a negligence of duty in this case of fraud in your company? My executive assistant is going to look at you like a fool. So the duties of the chief of staff does not include passing letters of appointments to agency heads. His duty does not include passing letter of establishment of agency.
Okay, can I make my submission now?
Duties, hold on.
Okay, no, you have answered the question. It's my time to speak.
I will mute you. Don't tell me it's your turn. What's the meaning of that? So, that duty that you are asking for, those duties are the duties of the SGF. The SGF has transmitted in a letter that we do not recognize these agencies. So when you now say that the chief of staff is negligent in what exactly? It's not his duty to appoint directors of DGs of agencies or to even write the appointment letters. His own duty is to serve as an executive assistant to the president. The SGF is the secretary of the federation of the federal government. His own duty is to transmit these official letters. His own duty is to write and say, DG, okay, this person has been appointed DG, coordinate the MDS. His duties are enshrined in the Constitution. When you now want to pass those duties to the chief of staff and then ask me whether he's been negligent in his duty, negligent in what duty is not his duty. And we need to get that distinction right.
Maknoon, your good friend is back, Yusuf.
Thank you, Maknoon. Can I make my submission now?
Yes,
okay,
carry
good.
on.
Okay, so Honorable, we have spoken a lot about this, and Nigerians are also talking about it on the timeline. Let's not forget, Maknoon is of the opinion that if Gamejala is found guilty, he should resign. That being said, the president is at liberty to continue to work with Bamijala, whether he's guilty or not. He's the appointee of the president. But like I said in my first submission, it is an opportunity for Mr. President to demonstrate how he wants to be remembered, as the president and as a person. So I will leave that to him.
Emotional blackmail from True North. Stop this thing. They've answered you quite clear. What's the meaning of this now? Which one be
Honorable, you promised not to allow interjection. Who was that speaking?
But you already done now. You said thank you that you were done. And he picked
No,
up
I'm not done. I'm not done. If you want to go and get new phone.
Arakuni, let him go. Let him
What's the meaning of
yes. So the Honorable, when you were playing that recording, Prince Adeni asked a good question that we should ponder on it. He was responding to Seun that if they said that agency does not exist, how possible would he have been doing what he did? I forgot the line of the sentence. That's a very good question to
he
ponder.
Said, how would he have been meeting the heads of
good. Thank you for remembering me. Thank you for. So you see, he was throwing a challenge, to the speaker. I mean, to the CSO and other people. We have a lot to unpack on this, and I hope that the government will be transparent, will be objective and speedy, in its investigation of this matter. But please, finally, McNoon, please don't be saying that the president cannot survive without the chief of staff. And I think doing that will be
I never said that.
So what do you mean if
that.
he resigned, that he's going to that the presidency or the government will not survive?
Okay,
I
so
think
let me
that should
explain.
be.
Let me explain.
So
Let me
what I
quickly
said-
explain that part. Maclun, I'm not a Maclun spokesperson, but little I understand about all this thing, because also myself, from conversations I've heard and some of my leaders I've spoken with, so it's a bit it's actually almost the end of the tenure of the president, and being a chief of staff has to do with a lot of things, transitioning and some other things you need to do. So it's one of, I feel that that's something that might be one of the reasons a lot of people are saying that Baja should not resign, not the president, but people that are supporting, or people that are saying that they should not resign. You understand? Maybe that is one of the things they are looking at. How would they transition to a new person? How, so many things is actually involved in this thing that we're talking about. So I think that's one of them, trust and all
So,
that's the thing.
honorable, if eventually he was found guilty, would they still remain insistent that he shouldn't resign or shouldn't be dismissed?
So it depends on the month or the duration. Let me just put duration of the all court cases. It depends, actually.
All right.
It
So my
depends.
point is this. We should respect the president as a person and the office of the president. With or without Bamijala, Tinubu will succeed as a president. He has assembled a credible team that will work with him to achieve his New Hope agenda. But that being said, the decision to work with Bamijala or not, whether he is found guilty or not, remains, with the president. But we shouldn't be blackmailing him that without one person,
it doesn't remain with the president. It remains with the court. Please, I think you need to.
No, what I'm saying is this: even if Bamidala is found guilty,
yes,
the president is at liberty to still work with him. He's his appointee. You can't force the president to dismiss him. He can choose to work with him.
True not. So let me answer because you are not going to go without getting a response from me. So what
I'm just concerned about you. You have only one phone and you want to go. That's my concern. Otherwise, I will be here for all day.
No problem. I'm not going anywhere. I think it's late already, and this 20 minutes to 10, and there's no point going out again. But this is Lagos. It's safe, so you can go out around 1 a.m. So but what I said is that those pressuring Baja to resign, those pressuring him to step aside, have sinister motives, and you will not cower to them. That's my point. And I now gave you the reasons. I said that Baja holds a very strategic political position and a very strategic administrative position. Baja has blocked some people out of interfering in this government. Baja has filtered a lot of people out of meeting the president. Baja is being seen as somebody that is too powerful. Baja has been fingered in the removal of Obasa. Baja has been fingered in so many allegations that even the people that published those allegations had to retract those publications. Let me check one of them that's, wait, hold on, please don't be angry. Let me see. So they said in 2023, 2024, they said that he diverted COVID-19 funds. They said at some point, IMF loan and Abacha funds, that he also diverted them. At some point, they said he collected $2 million as a speaker for petroleum industry bill. They also said that, what's his last one? Okay, so those are those ones.
But he returned $125,000 now. Is in that document now.
That was when he was younger as a lawyer, and that has been cleared. He was suspended for 36 months, went through a judicial process, returned. It was a commercial dispute between him and his clients that was being framed as fraud. His license was suspended. He returned the money and his license was given back to him. And that is in the US. So for me, we have seen him. He's a strong man. He has gone through a lot of things. But that because he had a commercial dispute with his clients when he was a young lawyer, and then because of that, we want to say he's a con man. I find that very ridiculous. So people like True North, who are very eloquent speakers, what they want to do is to force him out of that office. And those are the ones blackmailing the president. Those are the ones blackmailing Femi Gbajabiamila himself. Why can't you be patient? You have said that the president is smart. He has assembled a fantastic team. You trust his judgment, then trust his judgment on this. What's your problem? If you are saying that Gbajabiamila should resign, then everybody that has been mentioned should resign. But nobody is saying that. So it means that there is a particular group of people who are interested in Gbajabiamila leaving. Gbajabiamila came on TV, without any need to tell us. He said, I almost lost my job because of Desmond, which means that Gbajabiamila is working with a president who can sack him if he deems it fit. There was a time in Lagos where Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu praised Gbajabiamila and said he should focus on the job and not allow himself to be distracted by political enemies. You are talking to a thoroughbred politician in Asiwaju. You think that he does not have... When Gbajabiamila wanted to narrate the story, he said, the president said, I'm getting intelligence reports that you are involved. You think that the president does not have checks and balances around everybody? Do you know who the president is? Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Hey, you think that he does not have intelligence report on everybody? You know why they call him a master strategist? He knows that, if Egbanwoye is here, if Egbanwoye is a very close ally of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he knows that he must check his back. There are 3, 4, 5 people who are waiting.
Are you making submission or you're just interjecting me? Why now? Allow me to run up my submission.
You see this phone that I'm using. I will tell you the story of the phone. This phone that I'm using, I will tell you the story of the phone. I was using iPhone 15 Pro Max before. I bought iPhone 16 Pro Max with my money by myself. I did a job and I looked at my life. I said, I have not gifted myself anything in so many years. And I went to get a city mall. I bought iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Focus.
No. Let me focus very well.
Focus.
Okay, yeah. Because this boy is threatening me with phone that I bought myself, pay for my internet myself, open space the first time in my life, and you think that you are the one that will tell me I should not submit on my space. Check one cheerful minute. But let us get back to the conversation. Let's get back to the conversation. So, let me unmute so that it doesn't look like I'm gagging you. So, what I'm trying to tell you, True North, is that thing. Sorry, many of us here are politically inclined. I have political leaders. I have learned, I've not learned enough, but I know when politicians talk.
Go and have some water, please.
There's water beside me. There's
please have a break. Have a break.
Let me
have a break.
Okay,
I'm here to pamper you.
Oh yeah, let me just finish. So so True North, my own point of view is very clear. First, you and I agree that this is an embarrassment to everybody, and we want a very, very objective investigation. Where you and I will disagree till the end of time is that Gbaja should be the one to resign now. There's no way I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way you are also going to transfer the duties to Gbaja. There's no way. Because Adeyemi said that Gbaja is aware and Gbaja is one that gave him letter, does not mean that Adeyemi is correct. Neither does it mean that he is incorrect. But you say this Gbaja resigning. No, there's political undertone to it, and we will not cower to any politician. Let the court decide that he is guilty, and then let the president decide that I can no longer work with you, Gbaja. But you pressure the president to just be removing all his own loyalists, remove all his loyalists because you people throw allegations at them. No, I think it's unfair on the president. I think it's unfair on the president.
Okay, to wrap up, at noon, it's comforting you have acknowledged that we agree on, some things and we differ on others. And I have no reason to blackmail the president or to dislike the chief of staff. I mean, I see these two people as accomplished Nigerians. So what do I have to hate them? We're just making our submission. And I told you, personally, I'm not even calling for him to resign. I just finished telling you that even if he is found guilty, it's up to the president to decide to let him go or work with him. Every sent person, according to my political mentor, Mala Erufai, every sent person has a past and every sinner has a future. So it's up to the president to decide whether to work with him or not. That is entirely his own. My position is clear. The president needs to show decisiveness, especially at this time. I'm in the opposition, and we will watch to see his actions, or inactions, with regards to this monumental scandal. If you have forgotten, the former, was it chairman of the NHIS, Professor Osman, once said, during an interview in was it one of those channels, TVs, that there is in his own words, buffet of corruptions taking place in this administration. So if things like this are coming up and the actions are not, what would I say, equal to how deep or how huge the scandal is, such allegations will become, reality. Many people will believe it. Remember, finally, it was the president himself who once said while in Brazil that his financial reforms have ended corruption in the country. I'm sure you remember that. And this kind of scandal is coming, out from the presidency. Magnum, we agree that whoever is found guilty is not bigger than the country. He should let go. The president has, a it's up to him to protect his integrity and legacy. He has achieved almost all he has been destined to achieve in this country. What remains is for him to work on how he wants to be remembered best long after he has completed his terms in office. And that is my concern. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We will continue to disagree online and offline.
God bless you, my brother. 30 seconds to respond to you. So, okay. And I like the way you have framed it. However, like I said, I still disagree with your premise. Your premise is that this letter of appointment, this letter establishing the agency came from the office of the chief of staff. And now I'm saying that I cannot agree with you on that premise because the chief of staff was the whistleblower. The chief of staff has said that he has nothing, his office, he himself and his office have nothing to do with this fake letter. The State House, the spokesperson has come to also say that the presidency's position is that the chief of staff has nothing to do with this. The case is in court. It is passing through a judicial process. What else do you want? What you want is you want him out of power. What I want is that he remains in power until there's a judicial determination of this case. And it's as simple as that. So don't blackmail the president and say, oh, this is what we're going to... The only thing I'm going to judge this president on is the establishment of state police. You can judge him on removing Gbadabe Miller because you are a politician. I am a professional, and what I want to see is state police. Honorable, let's just move the mic. I don't want to talk here again. True, don't call my name again.
So True was talking about Erufai, right? And I wanted to ask True again.
No, please don't let us talk about that.
Mama
Please.
Sheba now.
Adeko,
This
Majeka, no. Oma,
Here we find but yeah, I
Bombo,
don't know.
Oma,
Maknoon,
let's focus.
why,
Nadeko, let's
why are you
focus.
afraid of me calling your name, Maknoon?
Okay.
Why are you afraid?
No,
Okay,
guys, let us focus, please.
I
Yeah.
Do not mute your mic. Mute your mic. You mentioned Rufai, and I get very upset by that. You know, somebody that came on the TV station to tell us that he has access to all the security information. Who knows that maybe he's giving this security information to some terrorists? And you're always defending this guy. Don't come here and defend somebody that committed treason here, okay? Don't compare him with Badabia Miller.
It's not only defending him, it's his mentor. So definitely that is what we know too.
Exactly. They know how to commit treason.
We are learning from that kind of person. He's his mentor.
The next person is Omo Naija. Then after Omo Naija, let's give Angel. She's a female amongst us, so that I can bring people up. True not, please. I'm going to drop you. Dr. Jalo, please your mic, please. Yeah, sir. No, not you. Arakunrin, I see you. After, let me just arrange it. Dr. Jalo, your mic is having feedback. Is having a feedback. Okay, so I said Omo Naija will speak, then Angel will speak, then Arakunrin. Sorry, no, before Arakunrin, Uncle Shex was here. Then okay, so Omo Naija, Angel, Uncle Shex, Adebayo, then Arakunrin, Uncle Gorio. No, sorry. Omo Naija, Angel, Uncle Shex, Adebayo, Arakunrin, Uncle Goriola, Dr. Jalo. Then I see Nehemiah. I don't know if Big Ellie wants to speak, but I know if Big Ellie wants to speak, he will let me know. Big Ellie, if you want to speak, please let me know, please. Thank you. All right, so let's have it that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. So let me start from what we know. And what we know are called facts, right? What we don't know are speculation, assumption, all those things, allegations, all those things, right? So what are the facts of the matter? Number one, Uncle Matthew Adeniyi, Prince Matthew Adeniyi has the history of creating fraudulent agencies, right? Going by the UN example and claiming to be the heads of those agencies. Another fact that we do have is that Prince Matthew Adeniyi opened a bank account in the Central Bank of Nigeria. Another fact that we have is that Prince Matthew Adeniyi was able to secure office space in the Federal Secretariat. Another fact that we have is that Prince Matthew Adeniyi organized a pre-World Investment Forum meeting where he gathered stakeholders, ambassadors, foreign dignitaries, military personnel of high rank, so on and so forth, and he gathered them all in one place under the name of being the DG of a government agency. Those are the facts. Okay, there are more facts. There is also the fact that we know that the first person to call the attention of the police, DSS, or any other law enforcement agency to this guy is Femi Gbadabiamila. Of course, Femi Gbadabiamila is not the first to notice the mysterious circumstances surrounding this man. The mysterious circumstances were noticed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who wrote for clarification, and it was also noticed, I think, by the Investment Promotion Agency, who also wrote for clarification. Those two, I think it was, I've forgotten which one came first, but when the first one came and Uncle Gbaja saw it, if we look at the dates, it is the same date that he received one of the complaints that he filed his police report that same day.
and there are at least records for all these ones to back them up, right? So the same day he saw this, he filed his police report. That is a fact. Good. Which other facts do we have which relates to Uncle Femi? Another fact that we have is that the office of the chief of staff does not issue appointments. So any appointment letter from the chief of staff itself is an anomaly. So that is another fact. Unless there are other relevant facts.
Another fact. Let me give you one.
Okay.
Secretary to the state government said they didn't issue any letter of appointment.
Yes, there's also that. So other than those facts, right? Unless maybe there's a relevant fact, of course, there are some facts I've not mentioned, but they may not be relevant. Unless there's a relevant fact that says something about Baja, I'm confused. Why the political witch hunt? We've not gone into anything speculation. If you go into speculation, we're going to, they accused him of this, they say he collect 400 million bribe, they say this, they say that. All those are speculations. The ones of the facts that we have, the police told us that this man has an account with CBN, so that's how we know it's a fact. All the facts that we have sources for them, right? The fact that UN disowned this guy in the past is a fact. There's source for it. The fact that this man is operating accounts with FCT, investment promotion, Tineka, and so on and so forth, it's a fact. The fact that he was never, we will not say, but basically those are the facts that we have. So why the insistence? Because if you really want to see this story to the end, you say, okay, let's do an investigation. We know from the look of things, high-level people are involved. We want to know which high-level people are involved. Let them suffer for it. But when you open an investigation and you say, we want to know how Baja is involved, on what basis? In previous cases, somebody gave an example of under Obasanjo, people were removed from office, all those things, they were arrested, they were tried, they were this. How many of them were convicted? None. The Babachi Elawa that we're talking about, somebody tried to explain the meaning of prima facie in this place. I think it was Uncle Macron that was saying grass cutter, that we're using to yab the man every day. What happened in courts? Courts told them, you people don't even have a prima facie case. There is no in the, where did you get your initial evidence that even made you to start suspecting him? So the waiting they call him, the court struck out the case. I've forgotten whether my defense they don't even hear. I've been a prosecutor. Side of the story they're not even here. Like the court just struck out the case that they don't have a prima facie case, right? But guess what? Today, we have used grass cutter to yab Babachi Elawa multiple times. If Baja resigns from office, wallahi, that will be the end of his political career. Because just like Babachi Elawa, despite being acquitted by a court of competent jurisdiction, he will forever be tagged and he was collecting 400 million bribe. In fact, all the former stories that nobody knows whether they are true or they are lies, they'll bring them up and say, oh, they are true, right? If he should resign, they'll say, the headlines we read, Gbajabiamila forced to resign amid corruption scandal. Gbajabiamila disgraced out of office amid corruption scandal. Those are the headlines that we'll read, right? So if he's not guilty, I see no reason why he should resign, right? And we need to be able to, because we need to figure out what we want. Are we trying to chase a political grudge? Like, okay, Baja is the target. Because if Baja is not the target, then what other people are saying should make sense to you. That let there be an independent investigation that doesn't have a presupposed target. that you just want to hold one person. No, that's, oh, you want to ask all the questions. You want to find out what exactly happened, and then you want to punish whoever is involved. People will support you for that one. In fact, that is what we are calling for. So why the witch hunting? You know, I just hope that our opposition will see the light before the light sees them. Mm? Because they are going down a wrong path. And the Nigerian people are wise. As stupid as you people think they are wise, right? They see what is happening. They know when people are trying to wind them. And it is obvious you people are just trying to wind them, right? The man came on, we listened to his interview. It was just Sakama J and Tsunamania. You know, he was just giving us lamba. And then I cannot speak about this, we'll let the court handle it. I cannot speak about this, we'll let the court handle it. He didn't give us any information other than to tell us, yes, Baja is the one that signed my appointment letter. So, and I think the kind of confidence that the guy has is a reflection of our political system. The guy is banking on political intervention. We opposition, all those things, you know, he's looking for who will come and adopt him probably. And so I just wish us all the best, and but our advisors, let's treat this case like any other case. Investigate from bottom up, not from up down, right? You walk to your answer. You don't have an answer and then derive the solution, right? You walk, you solve for your answer. So that's the way I see it. Oh, thank you. Anything baja is an agenda, right? It has to be generic. It has to be all encompassing. There could be 100 people involved. Why do you want to restrict it to only Baja? Right. So thank you, Honorable. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Amonaja. So let's have Angel. Angel.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, since morning. Hey, Oga. I don't even understand what is going on. But it's like Baja. It has crossed some paths. That's all I can say. Because in none of this, what I've been listening to so far, I don't even understand. I don't even know what's going on like that. But it's just too late now to be asking that, oh, you must resign, all this emotional something. And we are not telling him, and the president would be known for this. And since day one, there was a time that they were carrying, no, Baja is the one that is the president. The president does not know what he's doing. Now, Baja this, Baja that. Anyways, let's wait. Because a lot of people have been saying, oh, Baja should resign, Baja should resign. Why should Baja resign? What about Akome? What about the head of service? Why are you not pushing for those ones to resign? Why Baja? He only said Baja was aware, or Baja issued him wherever. And Baja was even the one that brought to the limelight of what is going on. But you are all focusing on Baja. But the other people, you are not even looking at them. So if Baja should go now, who is now going to be the chief of staff? You or your brother? Let the people, let them do their diligent work. Let them investigate and let us know what exactly went wrong. You better continue coming that written concern. Let's know exactly what went wrong. Because this is a case of innocent until proven guilty. Not guilty until proven innocent. What if after the whole investigation and all that, they now determine that Baja does not have any hands in whatever went wrong? Are you guys going to now ask for Baja to come back? Yeah, definitely not going to ask Baja to come back. So let's just allow the matter is already in court, right? And I'm going to believe that the justice or the judicial system will do their findings, and everybody that is involved, even from the cleaner up to the top, every one of them will face the consequences of their action. And if Baja also is involved, good luck to him to let him face it. But I'm not going to be pushing for him to resign when so many other people's hands are also in this thing. I am not saying what the man said was right. I am not saying it is wrong because it's also innocent until proven guilty. So everyone, if the only thing that I know that he has confirmed to us, that man, that he bribed through proxy $400, be 400 million, that he did it through a proxy. Who was the proxy that he was talking to? Who was the middleman? How did they transfer the money? To what
They said the
account?
middleman has died. The fire killed him in one hotel.
So the middleman died.
Yes.
But so they cannot trace the money. Is that what they are telling us now? Because the middleman died already. Because it has to be a trio for that money, right? So these are the things.
So
These
he
are the
just brought
questions.
up the allegation of money recently. All these things when they talk, no, they court, because the court case already started before this one that he's just bringing up like 2 days ago.
So the money was not part of the court case. It was not
He did
included
not.
in the
He
file.
did not make any allegation like this when he was initially arrested. It was just like 2 days ago he started making these allegations.
Oh, all right. So, okay, now I understand. Okay, we are getting there. So the middleman died. The person that was the middleman that spoke to Baja, that Baja now issued him the letter of appointment, has died. So how was the person able to contact Baja and spoke on his behalf and convinced Baja, and Baja is now issuing a letter of appointment to him? How was that possible? So a lot of questions and answers. I mean, in all of this, I'm not saying Baja is innocent, and I'm not saying he's guilty. But all these things, like he's giving somebody headache, that this amount of skin can go in. Nobody caught, nobody was able to say something is wrong. So even if he had not had held that international summit or what did he, that he invited those people last year, I think that was what triggered this whole investigation, because the office of the international something was not involved. And they're like, okay, what is going on? How can you bring out these people? And it should have gone through us, but we don't even know what is going on. And this is what led to this whole brouhaha that we are now seeing. So, in my own opinion, the head of service and the SGF, Akume, they have a lot to answer. That's the only thing I can say. Baja, by extension, maybe they decided to put Baja's name into it. I do not know. But I'd rather wait for them to conclude their thorough investigation and find out everybody that is involved before we start asking people to resign or resign this. Every little thing resign, every that resign, this resign, that was resign. How many people want to resign? No matter. But anyways, I hope that Mr. President is taking note, and maybe by next, if he wins, if he happens to come back re-elected, maybe Baja should not come back as chief of staff. We should do somebody else. Because it has not been a nice outing for Baja from day one. It has been one another scandal. But it is just too late for me. This is already July. In the next 2 months or 3 months, they will start the election process. By January, we have the election. So by then, even by December, Dada will quietly not come back. So just give him, in 5 months, it might be out of the picture. Like, you never know. So, but all this resign, especially from this opposition, I beg, please reduce the volume. It's getting somehow. But That is the Nigeria civil service that we are seeing. Those people, I will say more than that. But anyways, you people should continue your argument and your emotional blackmail and emotional this, emotional that, and all those people who are coming and proving that they are righteous, and those people are still stylishly telling the president to fire him. But in one sense, they are saying don't fire him. In the other sense, they are saying the president will be known for this. We can read between the lines. So thank you. I'm tired. It's really wire me here. I even take straight. But I'm enjoying this space. Mark Noon, hey, in your own space, you are this like controlling everything, you are holding it down. But if it is other space like this, hey, you'll be interjecting, you'll be on muting
You know that
everything.
there's a spirit that comes with responsibility. You know, to whom what is given, what is expected.
You are never going to identify.
Sorry, Honorable.
So you can be
Honorable,
like,
can I ask a question?
Yeah, ask her a question. Ask the question, please.
Okay. Angel.
Angel,
I should not ask you a question.
Is it not wiring you back?
110 now. 110.
See,
if you see the gallon of water by my side, you won't believe it. Wait, who are the people this guy invited for that? The people he invited for that summit he did.
I think
who are those
from
people?
China.
At least that. No, Nigeria dignity.
They invited some ambassadors, I think.
It's
ambassadors of Nigeria to other countries, stuff like that. But where we go?
Wait, hold on. What of Ministry of Trade and Investment?
No, she wasn't there. She wasn't there. She wasn't there.
We were not invited.
In all of these, the Ministry of Trade and Investment are not there at all. They are not even involved.
It will be Tuga's ministry there now. What do you call that Tuga's ministry?
Yeah, Yusuf Tuga.
That's foreign affairs.
It was
the foreign affairs ministry.
It's no more Tuga's ministry. It's Bianca Ojuku's ministry.
It's Bianca now.
It's Bianca Ojuku's ministry.
No, but it was then. But it was then Yusuf Tuga.
Yes, it was.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Wait, hold on. Did he invite Yusuf Tuga?
No, he did not invite
himself.
Those ones. It was
it looks like he was avoiding Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs were the one that now said something is fishy.
Now them cast down.
Now them cast the whole thing now.
They were like, how come he was meeting ambassadors without their own approval? You get so you go meet ambassadors, they come here. Now it's going to lead to the casting. It will be this guy where they organize ambassadors for the software.
That was what led to this whole Kasala now. Kasala combust.
Now person where they supposed actually employ, may they just carry and put on for our NIA. Come along,
the guy finished his youth service 2015, Abi.
Yeah.
Enter all those. He was snapping pictures of us, so just snapping with good girls.
No, he was posing as a fake SUG president at that time. Then he had there were some scandals that happened.
So not be today, don't they do this?
Yeah. But there's something I want to say. So on the timeline, I've been seeing some people that have been, pushing this guy's this thing that the guy is innocent and all that. I don't even care. But what is mind blowing is some people that have been called out allegedly as scammers are also putting him out. You have no rights. You have no justification. Oh, any rights? You don't have any rights. What is the difference between you and the person and Daja, whatever?
I have a feeling we are talking to a brother in the UK.
What
brother why in the UK?
the people I'm even seeing, funny enough, they are really based in the UK. That's the funniest thing.
Police station.
Not only that brother, there are other people like say UK is the base of scammers self now.
Yes,
and they are now putting out in the matter that they themselves know themselves that they are not even innocent in some things they've been doing.
Honorable.
Sir.
Documents don't want quote on this application for UK now. 140 now.
Ah.
140.
Yeah, Kuku don't know that one.
Almost everybody enter a student. You are claiming you have 40 million in your account that you did not have.
Oh, that one, not true. Not true.
But let me tell you, but let's be real. This scandal, it's gargantua. It's huge. Like,
it's a big one. It's a massive one. Honestly, it's a massive one. But I think
thing I want to say, like some of you APC members, especially those need emotional intelligence. Some of you don't have it, and you should learn to have it. And it is so sad that majority of these pull down, it's coming from you people. It's coming from you people. You are just like the Democratic Party over here. Any little thing like this, they've removed their senator. When it comes to the Republican Party, like they will not even do it. I remember there was
Uncle Goriola. Okay, I'll bring you up now. I don't know why
I remember there was a case of a New York rep. He did forgery. If his certificate, everything was forged. How they now found out? I think that he diverted the campaign funds, right? And that was how people started calling.
That guy was a Republican.
He was a Republican, no?
From Long Island.
Long Island. We were thinking that okay, the Republican Party, we asked him to resign. They said they should do investigation, no? And if after the investigation,
what about Mark Gates? What about Mark Gates that was sleeping with a minor? What about even Donald Trump himself? Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist now.
Everybody that was against that they were against Trump, now they are standing beside them, behind him. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that they could do that they will say no. But in this your APC, I have seen people come here, don't fair like, what is your problem? Okay, the problem, you think if this thing, it was the Labour Party or ADC or PDP, they will be shouting like you guys are shouting. You better go and learn politics. Some of you need to really go and learn how politics is done. And don't join them in pulling down your home party because you want to sound righteous or you want to be seen as the good party. My one politician is politics clean? Politics is never a clean game. It's never a clean job. There's nothing clean about politics. Every one of them are thieves. And it won't buy money barrel.
Angel.
Yeah.
Niger over £5 million.
I think go along America.
No, I'm just saying because I've been listening. I've been listening to so many of you APC folks. When you are immature when it comes to certain political something. You are babies. You are still toddlers. And you should learn how to do politics. So if anybody come now and say, oh, the president or one full president in bribe, some of you will come here and start saying, offing and puffing. Oh, the president should step aside. They should step aside. Oh, they should step aside until the investigation. If it's found this, then you can come back.
Especially when it goes so cold that
some of you will come.
I swear.
Even some of their senators. Imagine that one from San Farana. People don't know that one that always wear white. What's the meaning? I think it's a shop. He will look up a boy.
ìyẹn gbogbo ọmọ tó mà sí lọ́dẹ̀
Why you don't know?
ìdúmẹ̀ ó kábíyèsí ìdìbò ṣiṣẹ́ ní.
They remove the tax. When they now ask him, have you read it? I have not read it. They are all like that. During the days of PDP, àìmọye monkey swallow it. Àìmọye serpent swallow it. How many of
We are
them
saying PDP during Buhari's saying on now.
How many of them are in jail? The grass cutter.
No, those monkey and snake were PDP. It's just that it was during Buhari that they did the probe because that was what happened. That's why the thing came out during Buhari.
And DCani and whatever. Àìmọye scandals that went wrong. And these people stood.
No. That one is just that one. She still has case, so they've not cleared her. No. That one is just one out of many cases. It's not all.
Even but that for what beating me is name, but that daily. They even when they said they brought out the story then that she had cancer, she was going to chemotherapy.
So please, I see your request. I'll bring you up. Auntie Angel, please, can you round up so that I want Nehemiah to speak so that I can bring you so.
When we saw that Siani woman that supposedly was sick and was going to cancer treatment and all her hair was falling out and every other, that was PDP day. So, but I have listened, I have laughed so much on this subject. I have laughed at your ignorance and your gullibility. You go and learn politics and all this often righteousness, this only work in politics. So you do not join the opposition to pull down your own party. I am not saying that there is innocent, and I am not saying it's. If there's any message you guys should be preaching right now, is for you to be preaching the part like let there be thorough investigation, and after that, if he's found culpable, then he should resign. That should be your message, not this one that you are huffing and puffing and. I love you because if you can carry. God, I will. Thank you.
All right, all right, thank you so much. So let me call Nehemiah. Nehemiah, please go for it. Auntie Angel, please, I'll use your box so that I can bring it up. Thank you.
All right, thank
Nehemiah,
you.
please go for it.
Yes, I'm hoping everybody can hear me. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I know that politics affects our lives, but I'm going to try as much as possible to not make this political and make it more accountability related. So, of course, what we expect is that if there is no evidence, right? But if it looks like there is evidence that puts your office, that makes your office questionable, in this case, there's an agency that exists, right? And now your office says that it does not know that agency. That means there is something in your office that has allowed that agency to exist. Let's not forget the PFIFC or whatever English word that is, was created in, I know that website was created in 2008, right? The Presidential Economic Advisory Council was even created by Buhari. So all of this agency actually predates Tinubu himself, right? It predates this administration. So the issue, my own first challenge is that we should not even try to claim that the agency does not exist. It has always existed, right? So if we want to come to, and that's even, for me, that's even where the defense by Mr. Ononuga is flawed, because the agency has always existed, right? Now, I feel like if you look at the statement that Bayo made, he technically indicted, which is kind of, I heard Macnun's submission in another space when he said that he indicted the CBN governor, indicted the Attorney General of the Federation, indicted the Secretary General of the Federation, because some of these people were, I believe that documents have gone from one agency, from one office to the next office, and people should come and say, I have these documents that, that should prove that this person I'm dealing with is either a fraud or not. At least those ones are internal documents. The publicly available document that all of us have is that the national budget passed through the Chief of Staff's office, passed through the office of the President, passed through the office of the Senate President, passed through the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, because the national budget went through all of these places, went through the Minister of Budget and Planning, and somehow the first page, don't get, you know, this line, this agency is the first thing you see on that page. The first page is there. It cannot hide. So nobody can say that they missed it. Nobody. Let me even break it down for you some more. Do you know that these people, I've said this before on somewhere else, do you know that this agency is planning, I did not say planned, has been planning a World Investment Summit since 2025. They have not cancelled it though. It's still, the videos and pictures you are seeing out there is the stakeholder meeting of Prince Adeyemi with different people. So it is not possible. Something somewhere has happened that made Prince get an account in the CBN. Me and you cannot just walk into the CBN and go and get an account in the TSA. The TSA was designed to curb fraud like this kind of fraud. It was designed to prevent it. So how did somebody stand up? It is not possible that this happened without internal insider. So now, if you want to do a free and fair investigation, you need to remove everybody that has the capacity to influence that investigation, right? AKA, e.g., the person, for example, that his office is, in this case, Prince himself, right? Again, like I said, that office exists. Nobody can dispute it. I'm sorry, Mr. Bayo, you are lying to us that it does not exist, that always existed. But whoever that has claimed himself to be the GG, at least we have, all of us know, we have agreed that even if, let's assume that we agree that he exists, he should get out of the office.
So let me explain something to you. Let me just correct you quickly because of people that might just come in and hear you and leave. So that office didn't just it just existed. Let me just assume it just existed because they are saying it's fake, but from research it shows that even this Mr. Prince Adeni is the first DG. So the one you're actually talking about used to be PEAC, right? Yes. And that was created during Buhari's tenure. Then in this administration, it was now changed to PEEC. So it has nothing to do with
and see, honorable, before
yes.
Buhari,
I have a question.
Before Buhari, it was called EMT, Economic Management.
Yes, exactly.
He came, he changed it, gave it his own name.
Exactly.
Tinubu came, he changed it, he gave it his own name.
Exactly. Now that's sorry, hold on.
I have a question.
So how did PAC appear in the budget? Somebody needs to answer that question.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you are actually listening to me.
Mr. Nehemiah, do you have the act of parliament that created the PIFC that you are talking and you are telling us that it exists? Can you show us when it was created? At least that is where to start. There must be an act of parliament that created that agency. So if you have it, you can bring it up.
Okay, the PEAC was created by Parliament. Is that correct?
No, I mean
I'm answering your question. Yes, I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. So the PEAC was created by Parliament. In the budget, in the line item of the budget, right? It was posited as the same organization, not as a different organization. How do you know? It was not like there were two agencies.
No, what the smart criminal did was that he merged the two names.
No problem.
What the president created and his own fraudulent organization. Go and check that line budget. Look at the name. You will see that he matched two names together.
I agree with you.
You know, the name you call an agency in the budget has to be very specific. You don't call an agency that is maybe Ministry of Youth and Sports. You don't call it Ministry of Youth in the budget. That's not the same. You don't call it Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Federation.
Yes.
If that is not the name. You understand? The name that is gazetted for that agency is what you put for it in the budget. So when somebody says, I am running an account for FCT Investment Agency, that is one institution. When somebody says, I am running an account for FCT Investment Agency and Foreign Portfolio and Public-Private Partnership, that's another agency. When you say public/different agency, so the names are unique to each one. If they type extra dots, the name don't change.
In fact, there's a typo in the extra name. You probably noticed there's a typo in the extra name, and that's how it has been carried out. But see, my own summary here is somehow this typo entered into the budget not as one single line item. It entered in detail. Guy.
Now, don't you now feel that? Don't you now? This is just my own assertion, because the same question you're asking is the same question a lot of us are also asking, right? But over time, thoughts have been coming. So don't you feel that there are some? This has also to do with perhaps the legislatures. It has to do with legislative people that must have, slotted that in somehow.
Well,
don't you feel?
I would agree with you if he claims, because according to him, I know that he's a fraudster. Let's not get this twisted. The guy is a con man. He has a history of defrauding people, right? But if he claims he did not call Benjamin Kalu that he met and took photo ops with, right? He did not call Godswill Akpabio. He did not call anybody in the legislature. He specifically he said that all of these agreements was between him and Femi. Now, whether it's true or false, it's a different story. But the fact remains that those are the people that he called. So technically, he's saying that this is the man that helped him to find a way.
But what he said about Femi, he did not say him and Femi have anything. No. He said him and Femi allegedly have something. He's the one that has something with Femi.
And even today, when Seun Okinbaloye asked him that, have you met Baja before? He did not answer that question. He said, when we get to the court, he did not answer that question.
Yes, that is correct.
So, and from his previous assertion or from his previous statement, he said that it was through a middleman. Where is the middleman? The middleman is dead.
That is correct.
So from all these things now, you will see that there's something going on. And that thing that is going on is what we want to know.
Okay, but everything eventually points to Femi, true or false, not Akpabio. Not so. I'm not trying to make
nothing points to Femi. What exactly points to Femi? I need to understand.
All of these discussions we have been having. Who are
there is an allegation against Femi, and that is all that points to Femi.
Femi is not.
Now, you've seen the picture early. So, okay, you've seen the picture of this guy with other people, but we've never seen his picture and their friends.
That's correct.
That is number one. Number two, he has never said that he met Femi. Correct. He said he's cousin with Femi through somebody that is linked. That is correct. Yes. Right? So why is he pointing to? And he also said that Femi gave him a letter of appointment, and which we knew that Femi don't give a letter of appointment for any agency.
That is correct.
Am I right?
Then in addition, Mr. Haile, you said Femi does not give a decision to anybody, right? But now this man has not even presented he has not presented the letter of offer.
Nehemiah, would you agree with me also? Sorry, who is this? Agunwa, please hold on, please hold on. Hold on. This is not an echo chamber, but we would give you the mic when it's your turn. Uncle Way, I see you. So please let us just quickly round off this session quickly. Okay, so you know that whenever they appoint someone, right, and they would say it, there's going to be a publication, there's going to be a gazette for that. That's one. Then two, when they are getting the appointment letter, we see pictures of them getting the appointment letter most of the time, if not all the time, but most of the time. Do you agree with me?
Like you said, most of the time. So who knows?
Yes, but do you agree with me?
Of course I do. I've seen appointment letters everywhere. Good. Yeah, of course.
Good. Fantastic. So if that's the case, what would take that guy if he really had an employment letter?
But like,
what would it take him to show it?
Like this guy that snaps with everybody.
Why will he not snap with his appointment letter? In court, guys. This case is in court.
Wait, Nehemiah. Where is the newspaper publication where president announced that he has appointed? Because every appointment we dey see him, Punch go carry him. Even our friend Arise TV go carry him. Say president has appointed this person as Kiniko. There is no publication as to how this guy was appointed or why he was appointed or why that is even announcing the appointment. So if you can bring all of this and evidence out, then we can know that okay, president truly appointed him.
See, Nadeko, whichever ways, both parties, either Mr. Gbaja or Mr. or Prince Adeniyi, when they get to court, they should just prove themselves. That's what my own stance would be.
Like, I agree,
right?
100%.
Because
that is my own stance. Because to be honest with you, we can't
just put it on
exactly because this whole thing.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. I'll check.
Let me round up because I agree with you.
Yeah, you will round up Nehemiah, because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, there are some loopholes in this whole scandal, because I'm going to call it a scandal. A lot of loopholes that would not allow most Nigerians to have trust in the system in Nigeria. Already people don't really have trust, and this happening, it's a big red alert.
And with the mention of Femi, he's also rubbing off on the president.
Yes, exactly.
That's my own concern. That's my concern right now.
Yeah.
The question that is yet left unanswered, I'm sorry, I've not heard an answer that maybe is satisfactory, is how this agency got into the federal budget. I don't know if anybody has been to answer it. How on earth? Wait.
We shall don't ask the questions now. We
have had ghost workers in Nigeria over the years.
Hold on. You said that in the morning. You said this thing in the morning. Omo Naija, is
yeah.
You are trying to explain one name and the name the guy claimed to be. Can you try to let us understand? Is it the name on the budget that the guy is claiming to have?
Is the name now?
The name on the budget is what did he put? Presidential Economic Advisory Council / Presidential Foreign Intervention Council, something like that, right? PFI something.
Yeah.
So he just puts the old name / the new name. Then he just inserted it into the budget like that. If you look at the accounts that are under his name that were highlighted in Uncle Bayo's post as well, you'll notice that it is a pattern. He creates accounts, names of agencies and stuff like that are similar to the names of already pre-existing agencies, or at least the beginning is completely the same. Then he will add something at the end to differentiate it so that it will go through registration, but it can easily deceive somebody who doesn't look well enough, right? That doesn't read it to the end. Imagine an account name that is so long, but you shall see FCT investment agency. You could just put money there, right? So basically, that's
what you are trying to make us understand is the name is claiming to represent is a bit different from the one in the budget.
No. What's in the budget is what
No,
is
no.
using. The one in the budget is what is using. The one in the budget is what he's using. The one in the budget is different from the old one that Buhari set up. Right? And
Okay,
it's
so
also different from the new one.
Maya, can you just round up in a minute so that we can have Eso then quickly have Uncle Wei? I know Uncle Wei wanted to react to something.
I'm very interested in listening to Uncle Wei. Yes, God bless. I'm very interested in listening to Uncle Wei's take on this. Really, I'll round up in 1 minute. So if we look, I'm very interested because every other thing that the exchange of words back and forth is internal discussion, in my opinion. All of the evidence is internal documents. Probably the only ones that we can see in public is that there's a national budget that has this detail, that has salaries of people being paid. In fact, there's an approval of 314 persons, as far as I can tell, that were approved to be hired by this organization. So
for that one again now, for that one, I explained this in the morning, right? Before you can get a waiver, it requires the approval of the Federal Executive Council.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Before you can get a waiver. So how did he now claim he got a waiver when FEC did not approve that? That is another red flag.
Is there information that FEC did not approve that, or somebody said FEC did not approve that?
FCE did not approve it.
And that's what I'm saying now. So my question is that, is it that somebody puts a document somewhere and say, oh, we did not approve this thing sometime in 2025? Because again, like we are saying, somebody.
Well, you're only claiming, you're talking about what he's claiming.
No, I'm talking about what is.
Just conclude. I won't just have your conclusion in 30 seconds so that we can. Yeah.
There's an office. There are staff that are being paid. Those staff, their salaries in the budget, right? That means that these people submitted documents to the Ministry of Budget and Planning and say, okay, this is our agency. This is the staff we are paying. There is an event in October. It's called World Investment Summit that they've planned, that they've met ambassadors, right? So it is difficult for if Nigeria now walks back from all of these very obvious things, and that means that the ambassador of Thailand that they met a couple of months ago.
You're only elaborating what this guy said. You're not looking at the other end. You're not mixing the two. You're just talking about it.
Wait, let him finish. Big L, please let him just finish and let us move the mic to Eso and
ambassador is not an allegation by
don't worry.
I'm sorry. The meeting with the ambassador is not an allegation. It's not something that was raised by ADME now. Am I correct? Right? Yes, we know that there are documents that are there that Femi says that what's the word? That this guy is a fraud. We saw those documents. So again, the point, how did all of this, where exactly, and that's why I'll round up with this. If there is a loophole where that loophole, we need to close it. And if it requires that Femi steps aside so that there is an unbiased investigation.
I don't want to hear this further step aside for me. Please, let's move on to the next speaker.
And let's have Eso. Then after Eso, we'll quickly have Uncle Wei. Arakuri, no. I know. Emma Binu. Let me just quickly have Uncle Eso and Uncle Wei. Yeah, Eso, please.
Yes, say me, I be 2 minutes, man. Mr. Magnon, thank you for what you've done from this space before and this space right now. For the last 6 a.m. my time is 3 p.m. now. Me and you all day. See, me, I don't get time to come and shalaye to all these people. And you leraye that in shalaye. Okay. 2 weeks ago, Pastor Kilorukwe Adeboye. Last week na Kulikuli and Akara. This week na Wajabia Mila. She won't be shewani. Awala moral soju. Awala ma criticize Arawa. Okay? We are the one that will be doing the circular firing squad. Questioning everything. When Emefiele build 764 houses from foundation to roof. Who says something? When you want to buy Danfo to campaign for president, who says something? Ask all of them, all the air Rufais, all the Buharis, PDP boys, put themselves in the opposition. Oh, I'm very shalaye. They'll keep distracting you with one thing or the other so that you can take down your own. Even all this explanation, you guys, they can't even make the presentation like this. We are the one. Now we sabi pass. Okay? Now we sabi pass. Now we will bring out our own self so that they can be happy. And then they'll cut you. And then they'll go and paste it. They'll use your word against you. How many people have mentioned Mr. Daniel's name up here? Okay? All the things Ashuraji have done. Anybody help you? He fought for it. You think the presidency is stupid? When the Minister of Finance disappeared, when the IG disappeared, you think, is it because anybody said anything online? Didn't he have to do the needful? There's been a lawsuit since November. Okay? You think the presidency don't know about it and have all the full information and keep but then awala more so now, awala smart you now. We here sitting down, explaining to all these people, shalaye, ojo kosibe on the question, on gege, on she go from one to another. Okay? And we are the only ones doing this to ourselves now. Over Sabi, they kill us. We have an election to win, they're distracting you, they have nothing else to offer. But then they put a puppet in front of us and we just keep running around it in circular firing squad. You know how many things Bajabia Miala have blocked? All the enemies of Ashuwaju that he has blocked. Even inside the Aso Rock, they want to plan a coup against him. All those people that they want to chop Nigeria that he has blocked. They come, they form, they did in Santimonial City. And you guys are here shalaying and explaining to all of them. See, Mr. McNoon, Alaji Korope Labakoko arrest. Oh my God, in drag by me at Alaji Korope Olopawako Buhari. But anyway, Emma Raye shalaye, some people more politics now. If you reach your turn, do your own. Now we are in power right now. And Bajabia Mila is going anywhere. If you pay, you go hog transformer. But we're going billion, 10 billion, 10 future Nigeria because I need to go. Actually, you were position 6 months after. I even was one of them was in my DM. I saw later money show me one post from 2015 to 2022 that you criticize Buhari. Nothing, no form opposition lane. I know lama soro, I lama opposition, I la moro soju. And the my place antimonious, I'm defend. Anyway, that's me, because got to come at opposition. Got about one color 6 months. After 6 months, I don't care. You can come and ask me this after 6 months too. Then I'll be like, oh yeah, oh my God, what did Bajabia Mila do? Ashuwaju, hey, after 6 months, Alima Soro, yeah. But right now, 2027 is sacrosanct. Thank you, Mr. McNoon. Energy. That your finger go break energy. What on support Trump? See, Trump will bribe 1.2 billion. Download for our face. Trump will plane. Don't say Kini, don't support Trump. Trump is my daddy. My daddy Trump. But we'll be here talking about Ashwaju.
Don't support the rapist.
All these hypocrites.
All right.
And all these hypocrites.
Okay.
Mr. McNoon. All
right. Okay. All right.
Hello, everyone.
I agree with my guy. So you don't fire from one cylinder. That's true. You talk. I tell honorable before the audition opposition. No, they allow them come this space. If they do anyhow, push their common. Now so that they do for our space now, for other people's space now. They'll come progressive space. How they form vote Trump. We don't need them as vote Trump for progressive space.
Okay. Folahon, please, hold on, please, hang on, please, hold on. Okay, in all of this that, okay, Uncle Weye,
I'm still staying here because of energy, okay?
All right, no problem. Uncle Weye, carry on. I would speak after you. Yeah, Uncle Weye.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I've listened a lot, but let me just put a perspective to this issue. that particular agency, yeah, that agency has never existed in Nigeria. That agency. Hmm? There was never a time the government has a power to create agencies of any institution. You have, like, a president has a power to have a special advisor, 10 or 12, and he can have a countless number of special assistants. It's part of our regulation. Now, this particular agency was never created by Buhari or Tinubu. But you see, National Assembly on budgeting procedure, sometimes National Assembly can, on their own, if you see that budget thing, they can say Ministry of Foreign Affairs stroke, NIDCOM, stroke. That stroke, because it's a very bulky budget, bulky paper, that the Minister of is a level 14 officer in budget office and level 12 that deals with that, the whole budget. So you can't say somebody must have inserted something in page 125. The president cannot be aware of it. The Minister of Budget cannot be aware of it. I'm talking from practical experience now. Now, to get office in Secretariat, when you write to the SGF writes or minutes the letter to Permanent Secretary General Service Office. They call it GSO. The GSO minutes it to Director General Service. It's a level 10 or level 12 that will recommend an office for any agency Director General. After, in Buhari regime, you can actually get an office again from EFCC, all those recovered building. So, one, what is the process? The Chief of Staff does not know how an office is being allocated. Its own office in the villa, the Director General Service under the Permanent Secretary State House will allocate office for everyone. I'm just trying to lay a foundation for that one. Two, this guy does not have Federal Character Commission approval. Even when my sister wrote that letter, Mimi Abu, that said you can employ. It cannot employ because you still have one leg to go to. That's Federal Character Commission. If Federal Character Commission has issued a certificate, you will take it back to the budget office. Most of the people that will be his first staff will be seconded by head of service to that office. But the office does not exist. What happened in reality? There is a group of like 5 civil servants. Because when you are leaving, when an officer is leaving, when we are leaving phase 1 to phase 3, for 6-7 months, that office was still there for us to use. You've already left phase 1. There was that time, there was only one phase 1 in Secretariat. There was not a service building. So you have those officers that will create an office, and you can be going there, the cleaner will clean it. You could have your own meetings and everything. So getting him an office was basically somebody in general service who did that job. It's not Baja. Baja does not have a control over Secretariat. Secretariat belongs to SGF. Secretariat is being maintained by SGF. That office, that Adeyemi's office, was particularly created by the civil servants in the Federal Public Service. And those civil servants have another leg in National Assembly that says, put it this way. When they open the account, when we give out the contract, the money will go back to them. That is purely what is happening. So, but of course, opposition must make the situation. So, if you look at the old scenario, again, they're not being captured by IPPIS, those guys. Those guys, they are, if you see that particular budget, their aim is to get capital funding out. Salary is not their problem. In other words, recurrent expenditure is not their problem. Their objective, particularly, is to get capital expenditure where they will issue contracts and get money out. So, what government should have? Well, it's a very it's a dirty game, and it's not the first person that will do it. It's not the first person. If you check, just like people are collecting salary in Nigeria and they are working in US, they are working in UK, there are so many civil servants that are collecting money that they didn't resign from Nigeria and they're still collecting salary till today. So this one is just because it involves Baja. And then secondly, you see, when the president receives a correspondence and the minister, let's say the minister will agree now, Baja is the one that will write a letter from the president. The president directed me that he should liaise with this person and have a stakeholder meeting and give the president back a feedback. So I'm playing a devil's advocate now. That whether he write that letter or not, the particular ministry must write back to the president, say, we received your directive. This is the conclusion of our meeting. You may wish for us to proceed further or not. That was not there. So somebody in his office, again, a civil servant, because see, it's not one leg. A civil servant is in the State House, a civil servant in SGF, a civil servant in head of service, a civil servant in the budget office, a civil servant in Akata General. Before you go to CBN, you must have a letter from Akata General. And you know, the problem in Nigeria is that we don't have one signatory to a letter. So you can say, I'm writing on behalf of Baja. And that person will be accepted as an authority. Unlike if you have in a bank where you have signatory, authorized signatory. So, yes, it should be prosecuted. I can tell you that I'm trying to be careful of what I'm saying openly. I can tell you that Baja is not involved. The people that are involved, you know, let me give you another example. We have what they call judgment debt in Ministry of Justice. Now, a procurement director will give you an award letter. The ministry will not pay that payment. The contractor will take the ministry to court. Go and check judgment debt in the budget. When you take it to court, meanwhile, the contractor will not do anything. Then the court will look at the case and fine federal government a lot of money. Then all of them will share that out. So it's not today's an issue that we are flogging like this. Yes, of course, it can be investigated. The court takes time now. This case will go beyond election. But I want us to, like the other party said, I want us to focus on election. I want us to focus on how to get people to understand what the government is doing than to give fire or to give this kind of nonsense story. There are so many people in secretariat. In fact, there was one guy in front of EFCC that was arrested that was telling employment racketeering. BFCC.
What about the Uncle Boye? What about
If-
that one that was also parading himself as the something to the vice president too? There was one guy like that.
Yeah, it was. There are people like that. There are people like in the system. Maybe you are used to that office. You come to that office a lot. Everybody knows you with big man, and sometimes you sit down. Sometimes you bring your friends in. So security will not check you. You become member. You become Fred. I did it now in Lagos. In NNPC, the guy came to meet him there in the office. He sat down there. Once they know you with a big man, security will not check you. You know how security behaves or come because they are looking for 1,000. It's not today. It's not 10 years ago. It's not 20 years ago. It has been in our system. But of course, we must find, like somebody said, that we must find a way to block this loophole. The person blocking loophole is a civil servant. Imagine somebody who is in charge of IPPIS actually created an account for his wife. If you check ICPC cases, he created an account for his wife. The wife was collecting salaries. And in fact, the ICPC guy, the IPPIS guy who is in level 9, can be paying himself level 15. So when the Auditor General comes in to check him and say, oh boy, this is 419 now, they can accept themselves. But mind you, from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, they pencil him down as their obstacle. So Baja himself walk into this trap of like, oh, because people hate me, people don't like me. So now those people are the one at least 1 or 2 people where I know behind the scene. That they are now said, okay, let's get him out from that office. So Baja has offended people. His office is to offend people, to shield presidents from so many things. That is it. Whether you like it or not. There are times, if you ask President Pantami, there are times, sometimes chief of staff will not allow any minister to see the person. Even Amechi, he got an approval from president. Chief of staff said, no, he's not the issue of doing something. So nobody likes chief of staff, no matter how. The next chief of staff, we used to read books at Usetu together, even when he was chief of staff. He was hated. The story he told me, hated with passion, because he must guide his principal. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the corporate lies within the public service. And there are so many people. Look at, in those days, they said you must put your ID card to enter secretariat in those days. They do it by 7 till 11 a.m. By 12, people are buying granules, people are buying whatever. So they allow everybody to enter. So you can even sit down. Even the granite people that are selling outside in the secretariat, they have where they put their things inside the secretariat now, where the security gave them. Go and check it tomorrow now if you're in Abuja. Thank you.
All right, Uncle Boye. Thank you very much, Uncle Boye. Okay, so let's have Arakure. Then after Arakure, we'll have Dr. Jalo. I'm not sure anybody has questions for Uncle Boye. So
I've got a question for him, please.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I've got a question for
Omo
him.
Ninja. Okay, go first, Omo Ninja. Then the Alao. Sorry, I'll call you Alao. Okay, so Omo Ninja.
Zikula is actually hold on. Zikula is actually a family friend that I've noticed when we were young. So please give him priority.
Oh, okay. So Omo Ninja, please hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll call him Alao. I can't pronounce that name. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's very fine.
I don't want to murder your name. That's why.
It's very fine.
Okay,
It's very fine.
Dikula.
Anyhow, just don't stop the name too much.
Hello. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So thank you very much. This is my first time on the Twitter, whatever. Anyways, but the question for Mr. Eso. My Egbon, Emma Binu, Kamila Egbon. So the thing is, sir, he made a statement earlier. He said that there is no way that you will not get approval from all those places. And in as much as I defend Ashiwaju a lot of times, this is a big stain on this government. This is a very big stain. And for some of us who live in outside Nigeria, that defend Ashiwaju is a big stain. I don't believe that Baja, me personally, for anybody who knows Baja, if you grew up in Surulere and Mushin, you will know this thing is not real. People do fraud. This is a big time fraud. In short, I'll put this thing on the level of Hush Puppy's fraud. Because how can somebody somewhere in Nigeria open an office space, bring people in? The level of, I'm a cybersecurity person, so I know how it feels like. The level of which they have managed is like a movie. Trust me. Because I don't believe that. Somebody said something earlier. He said that they would have published it on newspaper. I know something for sure since this administration has started. Any appointment they give, they post it on Instagram, they post on Twitter. I have never seen this man before. Never, not once. If you check, I think it is, the handle on Instagram is maybe, I can't remember the handle, but they usually post
PIF something.
Yeah,
They still posted one for border.
In short, even people who die, the federal government celebrates some people as well on that page. I have not seen this man. So if they are trying to look for, like what somebody said earlier, I'm sorry, I don't know anybody's name here. They are only looking for loopholes to target this government. It is clear. So we need to stop entertaining these people. The more you give them attention, the more they feel like they have something to talk about. But the other guy needs to, they need to, all of them. It's not only the one. I think Uncle Oye is right. There are some people too in the civil service. It's the civil servants that are creating problems for us in that country. Civil service. How can somebody, it's really disheartening, honestly. Uncle Oye, please,
Mr.
can you
Dekula,
explain? Can you explain how?
by proxy? Is Ashiwaju they are attacking by proxy? They are just saying Baja. Is Ashiwaju they are coming after?
But why not? Okay, let me ask a question. You know, I said it earlier. Nobody can take that away from me. I'm an Ashiwaju person. But why not? Why can't somebody attack the principal secretary? That's Egwan Akim Okonla. Why Baja? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why not George Akume? Why not somebody else? Why not the SGF? I mean, I don't understand.
Do you know the central functionality of Gbajabiamila's role in government?
I do.
Okay.
I
So
do.
there's
But
a
I'm
reason
just
for
saying
Baja.
Why? Every time in every
Honorable, I'll come back.
Okay, all right then.
Okay. So my question is, please, can you explain, Uncle Oye, can you hear me? I just want to know the reason why in every government. The last time it was one Abba Kyari, if we all remember. There was one time that Abba Kyari, why do we always have a scandal with these people? Why? This is not the first time. During Obasanjo time too, there was a problem too. Why?
Okay, let me explain to you. Scandal is part of governance. Now, when you have someone that the president likes, but let me also let you know that when a minister is sending a letter or a file to the president for an approval, the secretary of the president will receive it or registry of the president. Now, before the president will see that file or the land letter, Baja or whoever the chief of staff must see it. So, at its level, at chief of staff, because of the schedule of the president, it can decide to take a take a decision at that moment and said, call the minister. He will not put anything inside the file. He will use a paper to staple it and said, put an envelope, call that minister or the agency back. See this thing. Can you clarify it? His job is not a messenger to go and give president a file or a letter. There's some letters can say, send it to SGF, let SGF deal with it. There's some, see, in working government, there's some useless letters. So by the time the civil servant working with Baja or whoever the chief of staff says, Egbo, brother, your letter, now chief of staff, now you deal with them. Now you say make you turn it back to one person. Mr. A said this, Mr. B said this, Mr. C said this, Mr. D said this, Mr. E said this. So most ministers that work in president, they have to go to president's house for approval to sidetrack chief of staff. Go and find out.
Why, Uncle Oye, why do they have to sideline in following due process? Why do they have to?
Even see, my brother, even from day one, even from the days of Abu Salami, the days of Abacha. But let me finish. There is no single approval the president has done. A copy must go to the office of chief of staff. The guy that is dispatching that file, he must put the copy for president to keep for group tomorrow. The president has a copy. You can see that sometimes Biden and Trump have some copies of documents in his house because of questionable things tomorrow. So it's a normal thing in presidential government. But now the point is that whoever is chief of staff, everybody believes that he hates me. He's not allowing me to get approval. And this president is not a president like, I'm sorry, my good father, Buhari, that was okay, approved. It's a president that will take his time to read paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 5, because paragraph 7 is where money comes in. You may wish to approve and consider and approve so amount of to be released. That's why when CBN governor was a commissioner, they call him headmaster, because sometimes Tinubu approve and they will say there's no money for this approval. So most commissioners will go and meet him first. Say, look, I want to do this. And is there any fund for it? You can see in government, you can get approval. I may not get cash release. So the point is that Baja has stopped so many things. Therefore, in government, if we use blue barrel and red barrel wrongly, it's a wahala.
In fact, I saw a gazette on red barrel, the use of red barrel today when I was looking at the opposition.
It's a wahala in government. So now a smart clerical officers around him will be looking for, please, I want to bring this guy down. Any small thing, a deputy director carried television. In those days, when we have television, just carry out from head of service. Say, won't go watch in his house. It's still no good. Security that is giving me money every day. Oh, God, we are hungry. Like, let's stop about the guy this suspension. He wants steal television of government. You know, you are not supposed to take anything out of government from government office. You have to come empty, and you have to go back home empty. So, but they has dealt with them, and now it's time for them to say yes. You see, the man president rely on. You see what he's doing. It's a thief, and it's not a thief. That is how government works, my brother. You know, there's reality, there is theory, there's what ought to be. So you can ask me another question.
So Uncle Oye, sorry. Okay, when you're done, I'll ask him a question.
Okay, no. I agree with him, but probably I will talk to him later and ask some questions. You get. But the thing now is, what is the way forward from this nonsense that has happened? Is the guy still on the street walking around? I'm sure that guy is not the only one.
Newsflash, he had an interview with Seun Okinbaloye today, and he said he was not feeling fine.
Oh my God!
What he committed is not going to 91 years imprisonment. It's not.
So what's gonna happen?
You see, well, like I said, let's live at the end. Unfortunately, it's behind my son. The issue we should deal with system that allows people. It's not only at the EMU. If you guys go to Secretariat tomorrow, you will find so many people like that in Secretariat. You will find them because there's no. See, until you deal with the system, there will be another Mukhtar at the EMU tomorrow. I was sharing it with death judgment. Believe me, it was Malami that said, what kind of thing is this nonsense? He said, wait, come and see now. See how much am I paying on death judgment? In fact, Jonathan cried on death judgment. How can death judgment be increasing every year? Death judgment is being settled in Transcorp. Let me just break it down for you. It's a big chunk money. There's one guy, I don't want to mention his name. When the minister comes in, Minister of Justice, say, Oga, see. So let's deal with the system. You see, just so many ideas now. And you see the point again, the point in National Assembly is that most senators in National Assembly, they will look at their own constituency. How many projects? Somebody brought mosque to our ministry now. Mosque project. What has agreed got to do with mosque? But under constituency project, you must do it. We don't touch their money. We don't pay their money. Ministry of Special Duties pay their money. They threaten President Bafunjola. They will impeach him if they don't allow us constituency allowance. There is no precedent in Nigeria today. If you don't allow National Assembly certain kind of power, they will give you all 4 years will run. Okay. So it's a delicate. But have you not seen what happened to Trump and the Senator? They had a shouting match last week or 2 weeks ago. Trump visited Capitol.
Senator Cassidy.
Yes, they had a matching on that, but in Nigeria you can't do it because you have to balance. See, there's a thin line between executive, judiciary, and what about the chief registrar? Go to magistrate court. The money you are paying as a fine, registrar they borrow now. Go weekend. Thank you.
Honestly, they need to stop all these things. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, Chad.
No,
they just
fine.
need to stop this nonsense and let us face real things in Nigeria, not this one. I beg. We have a lot of things to face in Nigeria than all this talk. I'm sorry, this is the host and the co-host. Please, this kind of topics, it is very important to discuss it, but let us look for something that will, take Nigeria forward.
Okay,
not this bad news all the time.
Usually we have spaces, we have different kind of spaces. So this is just one of those moments. So we usually have we have so we usually have spaces concerning reforms, concerning policies. So maybe when you follow, obviously you might be following Mark Noon, you can follow the co-host and all that, so that in case when we have spaces, you can see some of our spaces. So follow Uncle Boye too. So Uncle Boye, Omo Naija has a question for you.
Yeah, thank you very much,
right.
Honorable Uncle Boye Mochi, I guess especially. I have like 3 questions, so I'm just going to load everything together and bazooka it at once. Number one, you mentioned the letter, that Cable reported on. I wanted to ask, number one, if you can confirm that was real, because Cable didn't mention their source. So I was still looking at that with skepticism. The one that they claimed was from head of service.
Which meeting?
Cable, they said.
Oh, Abu?
Yes.
Yes. I've spoken with her. Okay. I spoke with her just when I saw it too.
Okay. Thank you for confirming that.
It's like an auntie of mine.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Then I wanted to ask the assignment of office space in the secretariat. Did you say it was head of service of SGF that is inside?
But that letter. Okay, go ahead. I'll answer the letter.
Okay. Did you say it was head of service or SGF that was in charge of space in secretariat offices? SGF. Okay.
SGF.
Then
SGF.
the last and most important question is: do you think there's a type of document management system that Nigeria can implement, maybe digital or whatever, that would reduce such situations in the future, in the sense that, so maybe each person has a code and you cannot do anything without using an individual's code, right? So if your code is used to make a certain change in a document or to issue a document, then if there's any conflict regarding that document, they would know who to ask, that how far, what happened on so day. So, and do you think that this particular event, right, can be used as a catalyst by the government to push through such a reform? So that's the last question.
Yes. Yes. If you are doing a Basanjo regime, we have Galaxy Backbone, and then we now have NIDA. In fact, we used to have a telephone landline that connects you to talk to most MDAs, actually from level 14 officer above. Of course, General Service Department, the team died on his own. So you need a president who has a political will. But when Pantabe was pushing it, for NIDA to have this kind of system you're talking about, Pantabe left now. The thing died down. You know, civil service. Once the person that's initiated it has left, everybody will go back to their own. Let me give you an example. Ministry of Works, Fashola did something in Ministry of Works. Fashola put solar panel energy in Ministry of Works. It means they don't buy diesel again as such. Their diesel expenditure reduced by 70%. The director that was there retired. No single director wanted to be posted to Ministry of Works. Because sometimes when the minister comes on Sunday or Saturday to work, they will write their report, say, minister works for 10 hours. Anyway, minister just work for 2 hours. They are collecting allowance for that day on Saturday and Sunday. And they're using diesel. So when Shashola decided to cut that expenditure, who wants to go there? So civil servants will work with you today and they will follow that your project, whatever you said. But as soon as Tinubu leaves power and the next government is not talking about it, they will revert back to the old system. But you have not amended the civil service regulation. You know when it took us to have for the court to accept bank statements, e-payment. It took to bring courts to say yes, you cannot accept bank statement now. Before, you cannot present bank statement now. E-payment, you can't, because our law did not do it. So we have, like I said, the system, you see, the system in civil service, you are not all the civil service reform. You are asking a civil servant to head a reform. There's, we're in the system as friends now. So I would not come and improve the system more than that. There's always, you see, you can't beat this game with civil servants. The only people that can reform civil service are like PwC, KPMG. And you have to pass a law of the Act of Parliament. Because what we are doing, okay, have you not seen this report of Format of Service, or sorry, report? What happened to the report?
So, Uncle Waye, I'm thinking that this scandal is like big enough that, you know, this is just my own fantasy, that maybe it can lead to enough outrage that they'll be able to push through such difficult reforms and make those laws and
No, you
everything
see,
necessary.
like, you see, my own opinion is let us have holistic, comprehensive reform, not at the end. Yes, we can do it at the EMI's case and identify people that were involved, especially people in the civil service. But I can assure you that it will come in another form in the next 4 years. Let us deal with that cancer. Let us reform this, like you said, the civil service, not a committee constituted. Okay, go and check all the civil service reform. Who headed it? A civil servant. From Alison Agida. That is why Muritala was so crazy to reform civil service that time. Still, it's not the same thing. There are other enemies in Muritala regime now. Before they reform civil service. Are they not at the enemy again? Now? 76, 26, how many years? So to reform civil service, you need to get somebody from outside. If you understand, in those days, a civil servant will spend 1 year or 2 years in Cadbury. A Cadbury person will come to civil service, come and spend 2 years, so that you understand industry level. But the way the civil service is being run right now, civil servants they don't like private sector. There are some things in the system that should have been done by public partnership. That have been done by civil service. So let's go to the root, foundation, and not do a committee whereby you have more private sector led people plus civil service. Look at the bank now. If you go to Federal Mortgage Bank, they're still using that card though. Where they use the savings card before my brother entered it now. I mean, if you have a Federal Mortgage, Bank of Agri, Federal Mortgage Bank, can you transfer money like you are using selling to Union Bank? Up to today now, you can't do it now because it's a civil service led. So government, of course, government is not distracted by this particular scandal. Government must deal with it, identify the thing, and as soon as the court says you are guilty, that is the end of the story. So we are coming back. I see so many people that on Twitter, anytime they are talking against government, I'll just like their tweet because I know that they didn't resign in Abuja now. So, but the system allows them because there's no bank. A bank will show you location of where you are transferring money from, no matter how. Whether you are in Australia or whether you are anywhere, your geolocation will show. So let us push for comprehensive civil service reform.
Yeah, Protex delivery is still at my gate.
Nigeria, your mic. Sorry. Okay, so I think that those are the questions for Uncle Woye. Okay, so Uncle Woye, I have a question for you. Okay, so have you seen a video of that guy that organized when he organized the symposium and all that? So people are actually thinking, even including myself, how was he able to pull all those things? And the people who attended, foreign investors, assumed foreign investors, and they were saying that this agency does not exist. How was he able to pull all those things through?
Okay. Let me give you a particular example. When the former Minister of Women Affairs, Oju Kennedy, went for a program and said our ministry did not authorize this program. You see, by the time you send a letter to a minister for sponsorship, partnership, the minister might not even see that letter again. The PAMSEC or the director can say, yeah, let's go ahead. So the minister is seeing program of his ministry on television, on NT or AIT. So anybody can write a letter. Anybody can write, say, I'm for Ministry of, I'm a presidential. You can even get police to follow you. I might get a director in the system to come there. They will pay for it. Everybody will be there. You see, these are things that are going on. They can even take it outside, especially Nasarawa State. If you check that cafe hotel in Nasarawa State, you find so many of these kind of funny programs. They are there. But you can't say anything. I don't know who approved it for. How do you know who approved it? But I can tell you that that guy wrote a letter. A Chinese man doesn't understand like whether that guy is legal or not illegal. They came to see him in the office. Chinese embassy came to that secretariat. They saw him there, properly profiled, that is a staff of federal government. He put his ID card on, and then the Chinese will, the embassy will deal with him. Azumi did not send note Baba to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He will still be in that office today now. He will still be working today. And let me also let you know that there's a standard law, there's a standard rule that a minister cannot meet a foreign diplomat without you must get approval of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Please, ministers have met diplomats from last 20 years. None of them challenge me, verify it. None of them has gotten Minister of Foreign Affairs approval. You see a minister, there was a minister that received this guy, Taiwan. He took late leadership newspaper that rushed to President Buhari. China will have cancelled our loan. You know, China is one. Taiwan, Nigeria has to say Taiwan must have so I should leave Abuja and go back to Lagos. A minister met, they had dinner together, and the person posted it. So till tomorrow, till today, any minister, maybe they went to US 2250 anniversary, asked them whether they collected Bianca Ojuku's approval. They did not. No, they did not. Because for you to speak to a foreigner, you must have somebody trained from foreign affairs. That's why in any embassy, we have defense attaché for security. We have DIA, we have NIA, so that they can speak the language they understand. But if anybody is violating that rule, so if you keep at the EMA, then you should keep all the ministers too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle Oye. Mark Noon, me, I am not paid for this one, no. See, since what time now I'm still here, Mark Noon, you pay me for my time. Thank you very much. Let's go to
Uncle Way to put our name in the Minister of Finance.
Uncle Way is my mom now. Uncle Way, Uncle, I'll come and disturb you, Uncle Way. Okay, let's have I think Dr. Jallo, because Arakuni has dropped. Let's quickly have.
I have a question for Uncle Way.
Okay, you have a question. Okay, Uncle Way,
Okay.
Idrissa has a question. Okay, Idrissa, carry on, please.
Yeah. Good evening, Uncle Way. I just want to ask, in respect of this guy opening an account to CBN, is there anything like KYC if any agency or NDAs want to open an account with CBN? That is just a question.
Yeah, you must have approval of OAGF, General. And they can actually forged. You see, okay, let me give a particular example again. You see, when a permanent secretary or a minister approves, I approved 2.5 million naira only. Now, if you don't put it in words, the next financial year in accounts they can photocopy it and repeat it again, and then you pay for it again. So they must have forged the signature of the person from like a general that said, I am directed to the governor. The governor will just communicate it to his deputy who have process for opening of accounts. So the letter they give to CBN, you say, fuck letter. How do you get, you see, legal paper of a ministry or like a general, you can't just do it in the attend. In attend is where they do printouts or so. There's a particular stuff that you can identify fake and or the letter. Therefore, there's somebody inside a general office that gave them a letter. You see, for me to take just letter paper out of my office, the secretary must sign, I must sign. So that she gave me 10. So if those 10 happen to find their way to anywhere, I am responsible for it. Even a minister cannot take fake approval to the house, to his house. Fake approval always been in office. Immediately it comes from villa, you drop it in the office. If you have an opportunity to read, I will read and I will drop it there. And you can't snap. You can't photocopy. So somebody in office of academia, that's why you see, if you think DSS should do a forensic whatever also to get those guys. They're not only, see, they've been doing that too. Pension. Should you remember that pension, SAPC pension case? Look at how many people are involved. Directors. So they did see, there's no way Cardoso can tell my brother's signature is this one. There's no way. How many people can Cardoso be calling and say, did you send me this letter? This is your signature. That's my submission.
All right, thank you very much, Uncle Way. So, Dr. Jallo.
Uncle Way, thanks for your time. And Mark Noon, Ogbashe Jobaleni. And you can't.
Uncle Way, include me in presidential campaign council of 2027.
So now let's get to the crux of the matter, right? I spoke earlier today, and I wore 3 different hats while I was speaking today. I wore a political hat, I wore my legal hat on one side, and I wore my corporate professional hat and my academia hat. On the academia hat, I was trying to go into details of how you can, any government generally, particularly a very large organization, particularly like when you are talking about civil service, how you can transform and reform through process automation, right? The thing is that the missing gap, I think there was a guy who spoke earlier. He said he operates within the cybersecurity space, and he will understand a cardinal point in cybersecurity, that the missing gap in the foundational triad of information security is the process. And together with the process, when you're actually looking into it, you are looking at the technology, you are looking at the people, and you are looking at the processes that basically represent the 3 core pillars that require you to for a resilient and a secure enterprise ecosystem. Now, with a big emphasis on the technology, the process, and the people, the most vulnerable of all those 3 pillars is the people. Because you can automate system, you can automate processes, but you cannot automate the people. That's why you have the issues of this type of scam, badware, and scandal all over the place, particularly in public sector. You could hardly see all these things in the private sector. It happens in public sectors, basically, where you have civil servants and general public servants generally, right? And we understand the fact that when we are talking governance, right? And to the guy who was earlier, you will understand there was an issue that happened. I believe he should be very conversant with Saban-Oxley, SOX, right? He will understand why SOX became one of the major frameworks, right, in cybersecurity, particularly within the GRC subsector. You will understand it. You will understand why the scandal in Enron happened and what was the reason it happened. It was because of poor oversight, right? Because of internal failure of internal controls, weak internal controls, failed audits, failed vetting processes, weak accountability, right? But it gave a very pivotal lesson that governance collapses when trust replaces verification. In Nigeria, we all pretend as if we are speaking as if we did not go through that Nigeria system. As if we still don't understand that in Nigeria, things, an albino can turn a dark man within 2 minutes. If you rub the right palms, if you go through the right channels, as if you cannot use your big manism, right, to circumvent processes. As if some people just came from nowhere and got to where they are without passing through that Nigerian system. So when you look at, like Uncle Way was speaking earlier today, if Nigeria is ready to go through and I said it earlier, right? I mentioned it earlier and I will reiterate it again. If Nigerians are ready to go to the next level of the institutional reformation, particularly at the civil service level, 70%, right? 70% of those civil servants will lose their job within 12 calendar months. They cannot survive it. They won't survive it. If you work in the Senate climb, as some people want to claim, and if you've had the privilege to operate within the corporate sector, right, and both private and public, you understand the concept. And you understand that Nigeria, even still functioning at this level, is a miracle of God at the level of civil servants. Is it not the civil servants when common politicians are appointed? They are going to show you, they are the ones that will call you and show you the loopholes, how to siphon money, how to loot money in your ministry, and what generates funds for you in that ministry. Are they angels? Are they not Nigerians? Are they from Togo? Are they from other countries? So the only reason why you see that the Western world is still standing is because of their ingratiated system that we are lacking. If not for the system that has been enduring and resilient over 200 years in America, Donald Trump would have collapsed America's system from top to bottom. He would have collapsed America to the ground. But the system is resilient against any government or any governor or any president that comes into the system. So now, let's go to Gbajabiamila. At least we've discussed about the duties of the chief of staff, right? The qualities of the chief of staff, and Uncle Woye, to some people who are not familiar with civil service. Some of us, we have parents who were permanent secretaries, head of service, right? And we have families who did a lot in the civil service, public and whatever. You understand all these things, it won't be news to you. So whatever he was saying over here is still news to some people because they don't understand how it works. So when you look at Gbajabiamila himself, right? Just look at Gbajabiamila, whatever they throw to him, it's not really the target. The target is the person behind the scene, which is Asiwaju himself. And you know Asiwaju had multi-layered and multi-tiered level of enemies, right? So whatever you are seeing is a transfer of that. So you see the three of them, if you want to categorize or tabulate them, first of all, I see the power or the pound of flesh. People want to take their own part of flesh. You know, people like the other ones who are considered the battle royale of the politicos, right? And the other ones who are considered the palace shenanigans. It happens everywhere in any government. Like Uncle Woye said again, scandal is part of government. It is your duty as the chief of staff, right, to nip the scandals to the BRS minimum. There's no way you will not experience scandal. Just like if, once again, if you operate in the tech world, right, there's no way, there's a reason why they call it cyber security or information security. You are going to have a vulnerable system every time. It is your duty to always stay alert and be proactive. Because as you are doing your job to clean the house, right, there are other people behind the scene who are trying to hack into your ecosystem and look for loopholes and vulnerability. So it is your duty as the duty of the chief of staff to provide that vulnerability. So Gbajabiamila now, he has three folds of enemy, just like Ashwaju has multi-layers of his own enemies. The enemies within even APC itself as a political party, right? And recently, particularly, you know, from the, I don't know what is happening, but some of us we know, particularly from the dichotomy of the Lagos APC, whatever the virtue, by virtue of the election, pre-election or the post, primary election fallout. Some people want to take their own for the fun of
You
flesh.
people are the one causing it.
So-
We don't have problem in Lagos.
So that is number one. No worry, but just gbogbo alajo ọmọ APC, just farabalẹ̀. Number one. Number two, Gbajabiamila himself, he has enemies even within the governors forum, right? Those who are from certain tendency, who believe their things are not passing through, or their men are not passing through, right? By virtue of his maybe uncompromising and unflinching loyalty and support to certain circles that are not loyal to those people he's working for. Don't forget that, Mark, you cannot deny this, but Gbajabiamila is Wike's close ally, and there are some people that are not happy with Wike. So politics is playing 6 months to the election, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm wearing the political hat now.
All right.
We can't hear
Okay.
you.
All right. I think he's
Okay.
done. Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so let's have I think his network. Okay. Uncle Jalo, please can you just if you're back, can you just spend 1 minute to finish up so I can go to energy?
You come out in my tune.
No one removed you. It's your network. Yeah.
Okay. So the number 3, right? They are the league of the confused and frustrated opposition that we have, right? They are still trying to leverage on this as more or less as their biggest political score so far, right? The only thing that they want is to see Gbajabiamila out of office, and then they can run to the market and to the media, because by the time you scandalize the chief of staff to the president,
Dr.
inadvertently.
Jalo, sorry to interject you. Please, can you just spend 2 minutes to just round up so that we can also have other speakers? It's actually 11:46 here. It's going to midnight, so let's just quickly finish up. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no wala. I'll try to do that. So on the opposition side, when they are able to get to Gbajabiamila scandalizing, then inadvertently they would have taken a pound of flesh on Mr. President to say, yes, can you see your government, your main man, look at what he has done. You know, when Susan Wiles was almost scandalized by a lot of corrupt activities in White House, Donald Trump told everybody she's not moving anywhere. So for those who want Gbajabiamila gone, they should wake up from the delusional phantasmagoria they found themselves. Gbajabiamila goes nowhere. Go and find another cookie to chew on. And then some people said, how will the president want his name to be remembered? It is not the onus of the opposition to define, or any opposition whatsoever, to define how President Tinubu will be remembered, because on a very good day, you are choosing not even to remember him for anything noble at all. So it is not the duty and the onus of any pediculous opposition, any hypocritical opposition, any yokel opposition, any kulak opposition whatsoever, any sap opposition. They need to wake up from that delusion of their grandeur to say how Tinubu will be remembered. I will remember Tinubu as a transformative leader. I will continue to remember Tinubu as the leader who has taken the tough choice that previous presidents were so scared of taking, who has taken the bull by the horn. That is how some of us will remember Tinubu. You that you have never seen anything good about Tinubu now, right? We care less a hue about what you think about Tinubu when he handles over in 2031, May 29. And finally, before I drop my sister, on Gbajabiamila again, the case already, as we heard, is still in court, right? And under the law, it is concluded, right, that do not conclude until the case is finalized, until pronouncement. It means there's always this innocence until proved otherwise, right? So if Baja, for instance, if he had been so reckless, if he had been emotionally garrulous and been so unemotionally intelligent, right, to go on national TV like El-Rufai did and self-confess because he couldn't hold his anger, right, to a crime of national proportion, then we could have been saying, okay, yes, he self-confessed, he self-implicated himself on a national TV. That would have been a different conversation. So Baja has never done that, right? The case is in court until the case is done and dusted. And even if the case is done and dusted, we want to see what becomes of some people who, of course, absolutely now, apparently, that are complicit in this matter. And I will rest it like this. They said Gbajabiamila should resign. Do we not know that it is the same system that Okuwoye explained to us? That it was the same system that somebody in the villa then reinstated Abdulrashid Maina, who was going through a monumental corruption charges. He was reinstated into the civil service. The former Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, he had more than 17 scandalous cases that he was left in office for a solid 8 years. Obienye Valentine, he was Peter Obi's main man then. He was the one that was caught with $250 million in Lagos and 250 million naira in Lagos, right? Obi did not fire him. The guy did not resign. As I'm still speaking right now, he still works for the same Peter Obi. So when you come to equity, you come with clean hand. When you are doing politics, right, look at yourself in the mirror and speak the real politics. And when you live in America over here and you support a 34-count felon, president, right, who went on TV when an American citizen was shot point blank in Minnesota, and you supported that, and you are supporting an adjudicated rapist, you do not have the moral standard and the moral fecundity to speak about anything that has to do with Nigeria. And I rest that. Thank you.
Oh, all right. To be honest, Uncle Dr. Jallo, half of the English you were speaking, honestly, I had to go and get dictionary, and I'm so sure I missed out spellings because are you our new Patrick, Mr. Patrick Ozegbo? Abi, what's the name of that man? Honestly, Dr. Jallo, I doff my cap for you with your English. You are lying. Kilo de
Mosquito Loni.
Omo Yemi. Hey, anyways, energy. No.
All right. Thank
Energy, you have
much.
2 minutes to speak, please. Yeah.
How will I have 2 minutes to speak? Jalu was speaking all English, we no understand for almost 8 minutes. You say I go have 2 minutes to speak. How come now?
even question and answer of Mr. Woye is more than 20 minutes. I don't start this Ojoro they do for APC. We never start submission, all the time us. Okay, let me start with this. Where is SO? Mr.
Please
Woye.
don't time energy. Energy is my brother. Please.
Mr. Woye,
Let him have a few days.
Mr. Woye. I'm no, I thought you are, speaking truth yesterday, and you actually concerned for Nigeria yesterday, Mark. No. But it's like virus of APC don't catch you today. They don't infect you with APC virus. So this is the problem with Lagos boys. Lagos boys will enter somewhere and they will just set up criminal enterprise every single place. I even thought that you will have the actual government parastatals and you just maybe, chop small money. But we don't know that Lagos boys actually have promoted this to a greater extent by creating not just one, not two, not three, but multiple fake government parastatals. And now they're going to look for a known impostor in the person of Prince Adeyemi to be the fall guy. And now Lagos boy will now play second part of this script to make us believe that this man single-handedly carry out this operation by himself. And that's why I'm going to have a fundamental.
So energy. Let me just pause you at that. Okay, so I'm so sure from everything one of the Lagos boys have said here, who is the host of this space, he has never for once said that Prince Adeyemi single-handedly, carried out the scam or whatever he did. Right, so he has not said. So if I know you are here to push an agenda, right?
No, I'm not even pushing.
No, you started pushing the agenda.
I'm not even pushing agenda. I'm not even pushing agenda. See, on my space yesterday, I'm the angel kilo deva into Oh my God. See, on my space yesterday, I was one of the few people that said, hey, this boy, I know this Adeyemi boy since, way back in 2017 when he paraded himself.
You did not know him. It was when we brought out all those things that you knew. Thank you.
You will not tell me what I know. This guy graduated from my. This guy graduated from my.
Give us confirmation. What
guy? He graduated from Lautech.
Matric number. The matric number.
He graduated after
the matric number. Whatever number.
Long time after I graduated from the school, and the reason I know about him is because when he paraded himself as the UN ambassador, UN President General, people started asking that as of 2 years ago, we are together in Lautech. How come you attended University of Waterloo? You are this and that.
So energy. So you agree that guy is a scum master, right?
Don't worry, I will get there. We agree he's a scam, right? He's been doing this for long. But what you guys are not going to do is that your Lagos boys that all of them are in Abuja all of a sudden, that they've taken over Abuja, all of a sudden want to exonerate them. And one of the things that you will do in this playbook, and I'm trying to actually get the playbook correctly so that we can create episode 1, 2, 3 and season 1, 2, 3 in this Netflix series, right? So that you guys can get your story right. And one of the way of modeling the water is you now bring in a supposed expert, a vessel of respected Mr. Woye, that we can listen to for almost 2 hours without getting bored.
And funny enough, energy. No, point of correction. No, point of correction, energy. Uncle Woye came by himself and so don't say we brought Uncle Woye.
What a coincidence.
Exactly. Don't say we brought Uncle Woye. And Uncle Woye has every right to speak because he's a progressive.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that still confirms one thing, that the progressive and the progressive caucus are trying to actually exonerate their own man. And one way of you trying to exonerate your man is giving us this fictitious character that doesn't have a name as corporates. And this is civil servants. Level 12, level 13 civil servant directors, unnamed directors. And by the time we start naming or we start attributing fault to this unnamed entity, then we suddenly lost the substance of the whole case.
But
This is
energy, you
all
can't tell me
together.
that
This
energy. You
is
can't
all together. Let me
energy,
finish
energy, energy.
now.
Wait,
Oh,
energy. Wait. You will not tell me. You will not tell me that you do not. You do not know that that is what happens in the civil service
no,
or the public service.
no.
You
That
will
see
not
this
water.
level,
No.
this
You won't
this
water
level
what.
of scam.
Hold on. You
This
will not.
level of
Hold
scam.
on. Hold on. You will not. Yeah, this level of scam. Let me tell you something. This level of scam energy. You and I know that. Know that you cannot exonerate the civil servant or whoever from this, right?
Mm, mm. So
No. Answer
honorable,
that my question. Yes, or it's a yes
honorable,
or no question.
there's no one or two
It
civil
is a yes or
servants
no.
that
It is a
will
yes or no question. This thing.
I will strongly say no, that this level of scam is not perpetrated by just some
Then
bunch
you
of
have
civil
an
servants.
agenda.
No, this is not agenda, because how do you explain that? Oh, somebody, allegedly now, forged letter from the, and is it SGF, right? Then sent it to CBN. Also, CBN doesn't have any verification method. It is still the same unnamed civil servants that we should put blames on for creating CBN accounts, for creating agency code. It's still this unnamed, level 10, level 12 officers that we should blame for making these agency now that we discover now that is fake, for making them have a whole page in the appropriation bill. Like, let's get serious here. We all know what this is. This is Lagos boys coming together to create chop organization for themselves to launder money. It's as simple as that. And they look for a known scammer that nobody knows, that it doesn't have any backing, that they can literally throw under the bus if everything goes sideways. The $1 million question I have is, how many more agencies like this do we have in this current administration?
And that is why we are calling for institutional reform. And also energy. I think you missed. No. The thing is, if you had been here since the space started, you would have heard one or two things that were said about that. Yeah, see. Sorry, allow your mic. So there are agencies that used to be under Buhari's tenure, that as though and also if you listen to what Uncle Woye said too, he made mention of something like that. He did. He pointed out the loopholes. He did. So the thing is, there is no one, covering anything here. There's a systematic problem. There's a system problem here. And these guys are using the loopholes. For example, Uncle Woye said that there are some offices whereby they had moved, but they had not shut them down completely. Do you think any civil servant cannot stage some things in those offices?
But
there's every possibility.
This particular agency in this question here, there's no evidence to say that is the situation that applies to him. This particular
and that is why investigation has to be done.
You cannot have people that are involved in case investigating themselves. It doesn't make sense. If you are,
then you are making that mistake. You are making that mistake. Energy. You are making that mistake, saying that.
Honorable.
Can you explain what you just said now? That people who are involved are the ones investigating themselves. What do you mean in that? What do you mean? What do you mean about
everybody involved? Everybody involved in this case. Everybody whose office is involved. Everybody whose agency is involved in this case. I believe they should step aside right now until the report of this investigation comes out. Because it makes
so energy. Let me give you an example. Let me give you. Okay, let me let on go.
My brother, in civil service. Yeah, good evening, sir. Good day. In civil service, you don't step aside yourself. The only agency that can investigate this matter is ICPC, whether you like it or not, by law. Because they
head of service too, if you remember that you can't actually sack a civil servant. The head of service must constitute what they call senior staff disciplinary committee. If it's a level 8 or level 9 officer above. We have junior civil service, junior disciplinary committee, and senior committee. Now, when the police or ICPC has finished the investigation, they will suspend that guy. It will be on half salary till the court will pronounce him guilty or not guilty. For the political appointees, yes, they will not get any half salary. You understand? But there's no way they can step aside until that particular task force has been set up by ICPC